Am I the right way around or not? Okay, folks, this is very, very different. I've had a hell of an afternoon, and the YouTube app. Well, if you've been here a while, you'll know that me and the YouTube app don't get on. Okay, folks, this is TrampCast. This is episode 66. We are going to be discussing the week ending Sunday, April the 27th, 2025. We are broadcasting this Sunday, the 11th of May, 2025. And it's all very, very different. What am I? I'm 2 hours late, just 2 hours. I fell asleep this afternoon, folks. I had the notes for this one already produced a couple of days ago, minus the numbers section. And then yesterday and today I did a second set of numbers so I could do a double episode or two separate episodes potentially. And then this afternoon I was just a little bit tired and I just snuck in a little nap. And we all know how that goes. Let me just see whether there's anybody in chat. I see that the people are arriving. Nobody's chatting. Thumbs up if you are there, folks. If you're real people and not a bot. If you're a bot, you might hit the thumbs up anyway. I mean, I don't mind. We're only abusing... I've just done a scathing 5-minute fucking video. Let me know, folks, what thumbnail did you see when you came to this video? Grey background, little circle, my head in small? Or a proper video saying TrampCast, giving the times, the incorrect times this week, and saying the successes, the failures, the happenings, da-da-da-da-da-da. Well, let's just say I just danced the dance with the YouTube apps, and I recorded my frustrations, and I've sent it or tried to send it on YouTube. I don't know how well that's gone. I don't know whether the video I created meets Twitter's format for how a video should look, but I probably, after we finish here, I'll probably re-release that video on YouTube. It's a little bit sweary, shall we say. It's a little bit forthright. It's me showing, you didn't see the thumbnail, you have your notification bell on. Okay, Terry. Well, glad you're here anyway, mate. But I've just spent about 10 minutes trying to create this stream on YouTube. Just trying to tell YouTube I want to go live. It was the most frustrating, and it's 3, 4, 5 weeks now I've been at this. I keep making videos and showing YouTube what's going wrong, and all they do is come back with the same little trite. Are you using the latest version? Have you updated? Have you restarted your phone in the past month? Have you allowed Android to optimize apps? Yes, 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 and fucking yes. Now get on with it, you fuckers. I upload my thumbnail, I create the stream with my the thumbnail's there and visible on screen, and then I push it out either to Twitter or as a YouTube post, and my fucking thumbnail disappears. It doesn't get used. Then I go back into the stream that I've just created, and the start date and start time that I've just set disappears. Can you tell I'm a little bit angry? I'm a little bit shouty. I do apologise, folks. I do apologise. I think I'm a little bit angry with myself because I am 2 hours late getting going here. So that's That's going to become an issue because before we're finished, it's going to be dark. And I don't even know where my lamps... Oh, here's one. I got one here. Okay. We will get by. Don't worry. We will manage. Also, my phone is on 19% power rather than a full charge. Just because, you know. But, hey. Hey, babe. You're gonna... Hey. No. Let's have a cuddle. Oi. 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 Can I not... Really? Really? I'm the one with all the food. Look, here's the fucking food. Do I not qualify for a nice cuddle? I don't qualify for a nice cuddle, folks. No. Nom 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 nom. Tina? No. Oh, fucking... Nobody loves me. Not even my fucking dog. Oh, wow. So far, there's only one person turned up. Well, I guess we're going to have to begin anyway. Unfortunately, one way or another, we got to get on with things. So as I say, this is TrampCast, episode 66, 066. This is the week we're dealing with, the week ending Sunday, April the 27th, 2025. We're broadcasting this May the 11th, 2025. The channel is Delta Mike, down and out in Torrevieja. Delta Mike, it's a character I play on the internet, some would say. Maybe. Down and out, we got a series of synonyms. Homeless, a tramp, a down and out, a hobo, a vagrant, an indigent person, a person of no fixed abode. A vagabond would be a Spanish word for a homeless person. Or sin hogar or sin teco. Both Spanish words that mean without a home. Sin hogar means you don't have a home of your own. Sin teco means you don't have a home at all. Other words, Americans might call me a bum. Someone who sleeps rough. Someone who lives on the streets, or in my case, in a field. Okay, folks, once the program actually gets going, if it ever does get going, we have a number of sections. The structure of the show, shortly, we will do what we call the numbers round. This is episode 66 of TrampCast, so we will do a few facts about the number 66. After that, we'll cover the thank yous for the week, the people who helped me during the week in question, the week ending Sunday, April 27th. After the thank yous, we will look at the themes of the week. After that, after the themes, we will break down the events of the week as they happened. Beyond that, we will discuss what the upcoming events, the events that at the time, at the end of that week, that I thought were about to happen. And then we'll just have a bit of a chat, just you and me. It's just the two of us. There's you, there's me. We'll talk. You can ask questions in chat. I'll answer to the best of my ability. Now, you can ask me anything throughout the show. I may or may not respond live. Depends on the flow and the structure. This is TrampCast proper rather than a hangout. The TrampCast hangouts are a little more fluid, a little more unstructured. This is the proper show. I do this weekly. I'm a little bit late doing it this week for reasons I covered already at the beginning. But we'll get there, folks. We'll get there. Okay. As I explained already, this is episode 66 of TrampCast, episode 066, covering the week ending July, April the 27th, 2025. For this reason, it's episode 66, so a few facts about the number 66. Now the number 66 can be, it's divisible by a, rather than a prime or a semi-prime, which most numbers seem to have been recently, this one's divisible by a whole shed load. The numbers 1, 2, 3, 6, 11, 22, 33 and 66 can all divide the number 66. It's what's called a semi-perfect number, in that you can take some of those divisors and add them together to make the number 66 itself. So if you take, for example, 33, 22 and 11 and add them together, you get 66. You can also do it with 33, 22, 6, 2 and 3 and still get 66. There's a whole bunch of permutations of ways of taking the divisors of 66 and adding them up to get 66. Okay, most weeks we have an international direct dialing code, and this week is no different. If you were to dial plus 66 on your phone, you will get Thailand. Okay. Now, depending on who you ask, either this week's number or the next episode's number will get you 2/3 of 100. 2/3 of 100 is 66-ish. Or you could go for 67 next week and have 66.666 and call that 67 and say that that's 2/3 of 100-ish. Okay. Route 66, here we go, famous highway in America that runs Chicago to Santa Monica in California. Get your kicks on Route 66. That was a song, I'm told, that was first released in 1946. I don't know it from then, but there's a connection. Route 66 was mentioned in John Steinbeck's Grapes of Wrath. Stories about or during the Dust Bowl in the 1930s. Who knew? Okay, on the periodic table, element with the atomic number 66. See if I can pronounce this one, because this is not easy. Dysprosium. All those years in school and I've never heard of dysprosium. What do you know, folks? Dysprosium. Like all of the elements recently, this is a rare earth element from the lanthanide series with the symbol dy. Element 66. It is never found in nature as a free element. It's always in combination with other elements. Always has to be separated chemically. It is used to help produce neodymium magnets. And then something else that I've written so small that I can't read. Neodymium something boride magnets. If you're a chemist, contact me and tell me what I wrote. I got no clue. Dysprosium is it's the strongest magnet at low temperatures from that whole group of magnetic minerals, magnetic materials. Used in laser production. Hey, babe. Hey, whoa. Hey. Oh. Hey. It's okay. Tina's okay. Daddy's okay. We're all okay. Can I continue, do you think? I can't read my own writing, folks. I was so... I guess I was tired while I was writing things. Low temperature, yeah, the strongest of the low temperature laser materials using commercial lighting, hard disks, and maybe electric car motors. Yeah, maybe you're in your Teslas, I would imagine, yeah. Okay. It's not going well, is it? Everything's a fuck up all the way through the day. I don't know. Anyway, folks. Oh, I haven't. Cheers. Cheers to you guys. Cheers to the subscribers. Cheers to you guys for being here live on a Sunday afternoon or evening. Late. I am late. YouTube stopped me from pushing the message out. It's going to be a low. It's going to be a low participation event. There's not going to be many of you because of me and YouTube, I guess. But thank you for those of you that are here. Cheers. Cheers to you. Yeah, it's going to be tricky. But we'll push on. We will push on. Okay. That was the numbers round for this. Episode 66. Can you believe it already? Episode 66 of TrampCast. We are covering the week ending Sunday, April the 27th, 2025, which is actually, is that 2 weeks ago? So the week, 3 weeks until 2 weeks ago. We are going to catch up this week. I make you this promise now. I am going to do these. I'm just going to keep going until we're caught up. I'm sick. Talking about 3 weeks ago is difficult for me because it doesn't necessarily ring any bells. It doesn't compute, you know? So I've got to get caught up so that when I do the TrampCast, I want to be talking about the 7 days just gone. That's my wheelhouse. That's what I know. I'm more likely to know what just happened this last week than I am to know some random days from 3 weeks ago. That's just too difficult. So that's my aim, folks. I've been saying it for weeks, but this week we are going to do that. As I just discussed, I have already got, look, I'll show you, I'll prove it to you. Here's all the notes for the week after the week we're just talking about. They're already produced. They're brief. There's gaps, there's bits missing. I need to do the numbers round. The numbers round isn't here. But I could, in theory, I could carry on tonight and do the next episode straight after. I'm not going to, because there's nobody here. But I could, in theory. Okay, folks, this is episode 66. And we have done the numbers round. Next up, the thank yous. I only had one donation in the week in question. This was my new friend Jo. Well, okay, no, that's not quite right. Josie and Peter. They've been to the camp once previously, a few months ago, but they were just leaving the country in the week in question. Actually, the day that I put the new tent up. For a reminder for anyone who's been away for a while, let me disconnect this. So here's Tina. You've seen Tina. We've met Tina. We know Tina, don't we, darling? But my tent, if you remember, the old tent had no roof, and it had walls missing, and it had big slits. It had big cuts, rips that went from ceiling to floor. We now have a full. This is a full tent, folks. It's immaculate, it's perfect, it's brilliant. The only thing that can ruin it, well, the only things that can ruin it are me and my girl, me and Tina. We could potentially, now we've done all right, we've managed 2 weeks with no damage. That's better than we managed with the last tent. If you look back, you will see that the last tent managed 12 or 13 days before Tina clawed at the mosquito net over the doorway. A friend turned up at the door. Tina tried to get out and she clawed at the door and she ripped the tent on like day 11 or 12, whatever that might have been. Um, that's my girl. um, so the only thing that can damage a tent is us. It's me and my girl. But we're trying our best not to repeat that process. Okay. So Josie and Peter came, and in the same week that they arrived here and brought lots of dog food and lots of stuff, she also sent me €50. Thank you, Josie. That was I don't normally say the amount. Thank you. I don't want to break confidences. In the same week, my friend Adela, who I know from the before times, from before I was actually homeless. I know Adela from before. She lives locally, and she walks past here sometimes, and she brings me things. My friend Anthony, who when he was here was bringing me breakfasts in the morning, and also before he left, he gave me a bag of coins. And I didn't realise until a little bit later, but atop the coins was a €10 note. Anthony, you are awful, but I love you. I think I said in a video one day. And folks, this is the week we're about to discuss. The week when I got the new tent, and as usual, we can't let a week go by without discussing my friend Karen and her family and how much they do for me in so many different ways. From taking my funny money PayPal euros, converting them to real world currency, or in this case, converting them into a tent and then fetching that tent back from the UK to Spain, bringing the tent over. And then, not just that, helping me empty out the old tent, clearing the ground, helping me cut the walls off the old tent so that I could keep the plastic floor, and then helping me put up the new tent. So much help in so many ways. Karen and family. Thank you, all of you. There's no... the same week, my friend Tom came by and brought his lady friend, Carmen. So thank you to Tom and Carmen for stopping by and coming for a chat and, and a sit down, and that's always nice. I got a second note about Anthony coming back again with a full breakfast. He was here a few times that week, so yeah. Thank you, Anthony. Thank you. Okay, folks, we are discussing the week ending April the 27th, 2025. This is episode 66 of TrampCast. Themes for the week. There's only one real theme. There really is only one real theme. I've just mentioned it. The new tent. The old tent was fantastic. If you look back at the videos from when I first got all of the previous tents, if you look back to when Simon got me my first tent, if you look back to when I built, I called it a shack, out of 6 broom handles, a couple of bent branches, and one big tarpaulin. If you look back to that, then the tent that Simon brought me, and then the previous tent that Karen and family brought me and helped with, and then now this tent. So all of these different tents, there's videos and all of this, folks, the progression. I've been here a while now, 2.5 years in this field, almost 3 years homeless. August the 14th will be 3 years homeless. Technically, I guess you could say somewhere in February I became homeless, but I stayed with a friend for a few months, so it's 3 years It's almost 3 years, like living rough, camping in fields, and being outside. Yeah, it's what is it? It's amazing, it's bad, it's terrible, it's great. There's a whole cluster of emotions around it all, but it has been 3 years one way or another. And one day I got to get back to real life. Maybe. Hopefully. Maybe, hopefully. But this is, as I said, this is episode 66 of TrampCast. And in terms of themes for the week in question, the week ending Sunday, April 27th, 2025, the one theme was tent. It's just tent. Emptying the old tent, taking everything out, storing it, friends bringing the new tent, taking down the tent. Hey, Chippy, hello, hello, hello. Taking down the old tent. Clearing the ground and doing a little bit of groundwork to stop the mice. Cutting the walls off the old tent so we had the big plastic sheet in place. Turning that around so that the holes in the floor didn't line up with so that the holes in the plastic didn't line up with the actual holes in the floor where the mice come through. Taking the old rug out of the tent, putting that face down and on the ground to try and stop future incursions of mice. And then putting up the teeny landmines. Landmines would have been good, mate. Yeah. What were we talking about the other day? The curved, what are they called? The claymores, the claymore mines. Those this way towards enemy. That would be some claymores for mice would be good as long as it didn't go off, as long as, when me and Tina were anywhere near. Mice are, as you say, bastards, because they're so fast, they're so little, they're getting everywhere. I didn't have a problem this year with rats. Last year we had rats and mice because you could come under the side of the tent and in. This year you couldn't do that. Because the last tent, like this tent, is like a sealed envelope. It's one enclosed thing with a built-in ground sheet and a high threshold, a high apron around the tent. This tent and the last tent were different. So we had a mouse infestation. And then we got the mouse traps, didn't we? And it was immediately earth shattering. It was immediately different. 6 dead mice in one night, 2 or 3 more in the next week, and then just one a week for a couple of weeks after. We were at the point, my friend Karen brought some food around, and I put it inside the door of the tent. I put it down, 2 carrier bags, 2 shopping bags, and I had nowhere else, there was nowhere to put it. I had no extra storage space, so it just sat there. And when I got up the next day, there was mouse shit in the bottom of the carrier bag. Now fortunately, everything was glass jars and plastic bottles and sealed bags. There was no risk of there was no danger from any kind of contamination. But just knowing the fact that in one night they've been running around the bag to such an extent that there's like a handful of droppings. Not 1 or 2. I'm not talking about like picking out one. I'm talking about a fucking handful of it. But all right, mate, catch you later. But yeah, just knowing that they're around and that they're there it's not great. And having when Adam and Mel got me those mouse traps, if you've seen the video and you see the way that the teeth come, It's like a bear trap, but plastic and for mice. Thank you, Temu. Thank you, Adam and Mel. I've got no idea how cheap or not cheap those were, but they're absolutely revolutionary. Absolutely revolutionary. No messing. From the moment I got them and put them out, it just changed things. So all of this is to say, new tent, folks. Theme for the week. If I can just go back to the topic at hand rather than going off on one. Tent, new tent. Preparing for tent, emptying old tent, putting up new tent, and then moving everything back into tent. Have a look how bad I am at this. Forget about my my electric fan. But look past the fan. Can you see the grey bag? I've still got shit to bring back in or throw out. I've got decisions to make still. I've been putting it off. I talked about procrastination. I've got shit to sort still. Okay. I will give the YouTube devs a pat on the back for the fact that for the second week on the trot, it's one touch to reverse camera. For a while, it was like 1 week it was one touch, and another week it was 2 or 3 touches to make the camera reverse. This week and last week, both one touch. Just click the double arrows, and we're there. We're reversed. Fair play, folks. I have just done a nasty video calling them all the bastards under the sun, and I think rightly so. If you watch it, you will agree, but that's a different issue. The touch to reverse cameras is working fine, guys. Don't change it. No regressions. Let's not revert to previously broken states. Let's keep the fixed state. You just have to fix all the other stuff with a fucking thumbnail. What are you playing at? This shouldn't be that difficult. I upload a thumbnail, you use the thumbnail. I don't want to upload the thumbnail and have you show me the thumbnail and then have you not fucking use it. Why would you do that? What kind of software development is that? You show me the thumbnail that I've uploaded, but you don't use it. Fix that shit. I don't know how much more help I can be. I make the videos, I show you where you're going wrong. I tell you to just get Android and load it and just create an account on this little platform called YouTube and create a stream and see whether it works or not. And I show you that it doesn't work. I show you. Just fucking fix it. For my friends who don't like the swear words, the vernacular, fuck off. I'm a grown-up, I swear. Do you not swear? Come on, you swear. Okay, folks, we did do the themes for the week. The themes for the week were emptying the tent, taking down the old tent, putting up the new tent, and putting stuff in the tent. That was the week that was, basically. He says, spitting all over himself. Okay, next up, we're going to run through the events of the week. I'm going to have a drink first because I'm an alky apparently, so some of you tell me. Especially after you watch my 6 or 7 hour streams where I don't drink for the first 4 hours. Then I'm an alky. Explain that to me. If you're one of the people that's calling me names and telling me that I'm an alcoholic, explain why for the first 3 or 4 hours during those streams I'm not drinking. I'm only an alky from 4 in the morning onwards while I'm talking to Chipmunk and Jack Attack and a few others. Jack Attack, post now, otherwise I won't believe that you were lurking. He tells me that he was lurking, but if I haven't seen him, it's not real. Solitude circuit, message redacted or retracted. What happened? You're talking to your girlfriend and you posted in the wrong window. We've all done it. We've all done it. Okay, folks. We are 35 minutes in. Shall we begin? I am 2 hours late as well, which doesn't help. But we begin, as we usually do, with the Sunday evening. And in this instance, on Sunday, April the 27th, no, a week before that, April the 17th, no, April the 20th, 27 minus 7, math. Sunday, April the 20th, 2025, straight after doing TrampCast 063, I obviously have to deconstruct the podium. As I do here, watch, don't, you see here, you're on top of a laundry bin, a chopping board, a pile of dog food, and a dog, no, not a dog food, and a phone stand. With other things, with an eco flow in the background and some beers on standby. It would be the same a couple of weeks ago. I've got to deconstruct this, put things back where they belong. It would be a little easier than normal because in the weeks prior, there would have been big bags of clothes to move, and I'm not having to do that right now. New tent, it's all, oh, I lost the pen. It's here. I got you. I got it. Okay, folks. Deconstruct the podium, move stuff around. That's not the word I used in the notes. Move stuff around. Quick run around and move around, and then a read around. I decided I was going to do a TrampCast hangout afterwards, so I wanted to go off and find a few science and tech stories to enthrall you with later in the TrampCast hangout. If anybody fancies it, I'll consider it later. We will have to leave it. Where are we now for time? It's nearly 8 o'clock. Yeah, it's gonna be 11:30 before we begin, maybe even 12. But I'll think about doing one if there's any interest. We'll see. We'll see. It's possible that I will do a TrampCast hangout. I doubt that we're gonna go for 4, 5, 6 hours like some of the recent ones. Maybe a shorter one of a couple of hours. But it's possible. If people are interested and if people want them. But I spent that evening a quick read around some news stories and science and tech stories. And then we did TrampCast Hangout 006 that night. After I battled the YouTube demons to try and upload a thumbnail. You see, guys, it's been going on a while. From TrampCast Hangout 6 until now, I think we just did 9. We did number 9 the other day. If we do one tonight, it will be Hangout number 10. That's how long this shit's been going on. Now, on this particular night, we only did 3.25 hours, and a fairly small audience. I think we started late. So, yeah. So that was Sunday night into Monday morning. And Tina, 8 a.m, wanted to get out, I think, and it's clear sky. I put the solar out even as early as that. The sun wouldn't have been above the trees properly, but put it out in readiness. The eco flow was down to 66%, which that's fairly low by normally we would be on 80 or 90% overnight. Just recently, I've been using the cool box. And if I miss time, if I run the cool box too late and the sun's gone off the panel, like now, see if I can show you. You can see the solar panel and the cool box out there. Solar panel's resting above the cool box. If I'd left the cool box running and no power on the panel, it discharges and we discharge, we run down. been happening a little bit lately. But the day in question, the day we're talking about, the Monday morning, we're down to 66 overnight because I've done 2 TrampCasts. TrampCast proper and then the TrampCast hangout overnight. Run the power down somewhat. 9 o'clock, 9 a.m, we've got 70 watts inbound already. This is the thing about Spain. There's no... I've had a few close calls in winter where you have 2 or 3 days with no sun and you're having to monitor where you are power wise. As soon as it's not winter, it's just not a fucking issue. You just I could run the slow cooker all day. I've got this fan. I showed you the fan. Here, look. You see the fan? I've been using that this week. It's not the fan I had last year. My preference would have been the fan, the columnar fan that I had last year. That was fantastic. This is a little different, but look how bright white it is. It looks. Just put it back. It looks fucking brand new. Now the feet are a little bit wonky. The feet are a little bit bent, which I think stability is what's been thrown away. It's shiny bright white, folks. You can't tell that it's not brand new. I've no idea where we're in terms of brands or its age or anything. Retrieved from by a bin by my friend Karen and family. But it's fuck off bright white. It's so white it's almost blue. You know, like your washing powder. It's so white it's blue. This is similar. It's fantastic. And my last fan used 30 to 40 watts depending which setting you put it on. This uses 20. Even on full blast, it's like 25 watts. It's so much more. I don't know whether it's more efficient or just spins less, moves less air maybe. I've no idea. But King of the Tramps. Did I ever mention? I think I did. Oh, television under the bubble wrap here. Television. I think the last couple of TrampCast hangouts, I've tried to list everything that I've got that's electrical or electronic, and I always fail. I always miss something. So I've tried to make an actual written list this morning. It's phenomenal the amount of stuff that I have. That's excluding the broken iPad and the what do you call the book reader? Kindle, Amazon Kindle that works but tells me it needs a new battery. It was damaged in a flood, and it works well enough to tell me. It detects that the battery is not charging and tells me it needs a new battery. One day I'll take it somewhere and get... I loved my Kindle book reader. I am a reader. I am an avid, voracious reader. And when my Kindle broke all those months ago, 2.5 years ago, so the first flood was October the 10th, 2.5 years ago. And the second one was November the 10th into the morning, November the 11th. It was overnight we flooded a second time in the field. Some things broke on the first flood, some things broke on the second. Everything broke, everything. And then I spent from that November until April or May with nothing. I didn't have a timepiece. I had no clock, no watch. I didn't have a phone. I didn't have a light. Two of my 3 power banks inflated the battery, which was a cell inside a plastic sack kind of thing, inflated and burst the power banks open, revealing the whatever lithium chemical. The bag inflated and burst the devices. My phone did the same. It burst and broke the seam. It had done it already before the first flood, and by the time the second, it had pushed open and all the water got in on the second flood to break my phone. Yeah, folks, I was back to the Stone Age. I had nothing for months and months until a lady bought me a radio, a €7 radio, 4 or 5 months later, to bring me back into the modern world. First was a radio, then a flask, then they bought two ladies put together and bought me a phone. And that's where this channel began, with that phone. Anita and Tina, thank you. I could never begin to thank you enough for the journey that you set me off on. Absolutely incredible. When they said they were going to buy me a phone, I thought they meant like a 30 or 40 euro second-hand phone at the market kind of thing. No, they walked into a shop, they paid 150, 170, whatever it was. They got me a SIM card. We did all the paperwork. They put a couple of months worth of credit on. Absolutely phenomenal. I can't even... I've taken a diversion, haven't I, guys? I've gone off tangents from tangents, as I do. Where was I? It was Monday, the last I remember, was it? Oh, we were into Tuesday morning, and 70 watts inbound on the EcoFlow, I think. Tangents from tangents. And if you're lucky, I'll go around in a circle and backtrack back to where we began. Only if you're lucky. I've written here, I spent most of the day promoting TrampCast and TrampCast Hangouts, the stuff from the night before. So I you know what I mean, there's promotion to be done after you've done a video. You got to tell people that there's a video or no one's going to watch it. So a bit of promotion, a bit of messaging on Twitter and on YouTube, a bit of talking with people, pushing the message out there. Now this was where I heard someone like messing about with van doors nearby. In the night, there's a van nearby, like up the road a little bit, and I'm listening. It wakes me up. There's the smack and and it's like, who, what, why? And there's a guy throwing stuff out of his van, and so I go out, and it upset. Tina is very sensitive to someone parking on this road because she's trying to protect the camp. She can't go anywhere, she can't do anything, she can't move anymore. But she'll wake me up and nudge me and tell me to go and hit somebody or go and do something. So I stand outside and I see this guy unloading his van and just throwing crap in the hedge. And so I stand and like make my presence felt. I make myself obvious. And the next thing you know, he disappears behind his van, and then rocks start landing next to me, like a metre or two away. Like the cunt's gone behind his van, and he's oiking, not just stop, rocks. He's oiking shit. Whoa! And it's landing near me. So I do what I do. I move towards trouble. We might have discussed this once or twice. I walk. I put my head torch on, make myself really visible, and I walk slowly and deliberately. Right, and he's still throwing the fucking rocks, and I don't flinch. I just walk towards him. And obviously, by the time I get halfway there, he's into his van and reversing back down the fucking road. And I'm not. It's not like I'm running, like try and get there and do damage. I'm just walking purposefully at him, towards him, and he he goes. Somebody asked me, I think I said that I retrieved some of this wood and I thought I had a use for it. And somebody asked me, wasn't there a full bed there? Couldn't you have just like rebuilt the bed? No, there wasn't a full bed there because the fucker ran away before he got there. You know what I mean? He's throwing rocks at me and I'm walking at him and he's clear. He's wondering what's Terminator doing, just like fucking walking right at me despite me throwing rocks. And I walk at him. Always walk towards trouble. Slowly, purposefully, don't flinch. If you see a rock actually coming towards you, either catch it or knock it away, whatever. But walk towards trouble. And he got in his van and he didn't come down the road, turn around, and he just fucked out. He just reversed backwards that way and went. So that's 2 or 3 in the morning. I couldn't actually tell you, but he realised that the trouble was headed his way, and I guess discretion was the better part of valour. Off he fucked. Yeah, even my notes here from at the time I told you before, I moved towards trouble. Always have, always will. I said the story the other day about in the bar when 3 or 4 ex-Royal Marines were giving the barman grief, and they'd trapped him with double doors that opened, and they trapped him between the door and the wall. And nobody else was gonna. They've literally just got him pinned there, and I said to everyone around me, all the guys, blokes, I said, we can't let that happen. We gotta go fucking do something. We can't. That's not on. We're not letting that happen. The fuck. You don't come into our place, into our bar, and give the barman shit like that. No, just fucking no. Nobody else moved. It was 10 minutes before they came and backed me up. And I'm fronting up to 3 or 4 ex-Royal Marines. You just don't let shit like that happen. It just not on my watch. Not with me. Never ever. I started a TrampCast once, and immediately I pushed the button to go live. There was a screech of brakes and stuff up on the main road. So I took the dog back when she could walk, and we went to see if someone needed help. Turns out they didn't. It had been a screech of brakes and not quite a crash. Move towards trouble. Someone might need help. One day you'll do it and it'll matter. And I've told the tale about how I've twice saved the lives of policemen. I went into it in depth the other day in the TrampCast hangout. So I'm not going to do that again here. I've told that tale a few times. It gets a bit. It's not exactly boring, but I'm not going to keep. It sounds a bit self-serving if you keep telling these heroic tales about how you battled against 4 people. 4 people. I knocked 2 of them away quickly, and then I knocked 1 out. And then I knelt and looked after the copper. And then I got arrested and beaten up by the police because they thought that I was the bad guy. Me and the police, we have a history. We have a history. I think I'm a fucking hero. They don't. They think I'm a criminal. But that's... Anyway, Monday night into Tuesday morning. 6 a.m. Rain. And coffee. And I went out, this is where I picked up the wood. I didn't know what the guy had been doing up the road, but I went out while it was still dark, 6 in the morning. And I went out and I picked up the stuff he'd been throwing in the hedge. I saw that it was wood, and I carried all of these lats from this bed. I figured, if you've been watching the channel a while, you'll know my bed was getting wet. The broken tent with no roof and water was pouring in, mattresses were getting wet. I thought I could put 2 lats on the floor, like 2 lats deep. I thought a bunch of those with the mattresses on top, and it would keep the mattress out of the rain, keep it up and off the ground. So I collected all of these lats, but it was dark. I didn't see what I was picking up. I didn't realise that there was a screw sticking out of every. They'd not dismantled this bed. They've broken it down, like smashed it down. There's a screw sticking out of all the wood, which I didn't realise until we were bringing it into here a few days later. So we'll get there. But what I'm saying is that on this particular morning, this Tuesday morning, I went and I retrieved the wood, bringing it back here because I thought I had a use for it. So this was Tuesday before light. But I've got the kettle on and, we're doing what we're doing. This was, okay, that was the morning. I used to listen to regularly. There was a lawyer chap online with a YouTube channel called Rekieta Law, Rekieta, Rekieta Law. Fantastic at breaking down American law, in particular constitutional law. Rekieta Law, and Rackets is like the nickname for him and his wife. They got in a bit of trouble a while back, about a year ago. Swinging and cocaine, to the point where like the local society, the local village got concerned about them and their children. They've got 5 kids. They'd moved the nanny in and he was banging the wife and the nanny, and it was all getting a little bit. So a year ago this all blew up, search warrants, police invading, and lots of salacious gossip, shall we say. And this guy had got huge during the Johnny Depp trial, and also the guy whose name I won't remember right now. Young lad, 17, during the BLM riots, he shot 4 people in 3/4 of a second. He put a bunch of people down that were trying to kill him. They were hitting him around the head with skateboards and bricks and things, and he had a gun with him, so he went pop, 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 and he dispatched 2 or 3 of them and blew the hand off a 4th one. What was he called? I'm not going to get his name. My memory is bad for this. But anyway, this lawyer chap had discussed all this and got really big during that trial, and then the Johnny Depp Amber Heard trial. He had like 100,000 people watching live. 100. Do you know how much money that makes you on YouTube? I'll give you a clue. You get 1,000 views on YouTube, you make between $1 and $5 per 1,000 people that are watching. By the time you've got hundreds of thousands of people watching, you're making hundreds of dollars per hour and above. And yeah. Anyway, so this guy, I said about the swinging and the drugs and the difficulties, but suddenly that's out of the way, and suddenly he's back. Suddenly he's, at 7:30 when I realised that he's been on since 6 o'clock. While I've been out collecting the wood and doing whatever the hell else I was doing, he's been online and I've missed it. But I catch up. I watch to the end while he's live, and then I go back and watch the rest. Good to have him back. Nick Rekieta, you will never ever see this. You won't know who I am, but I appreciate you, bro. I'm not, the drugs and the swinging is not my scene. That's not my thing. But the way that law-splaining the interwebs is kind of his catchphrase. The way that he explains laws, and I talked a moment ago about my relationship with the police and law. We've crossed paths, He'll never know who I am, but fair play to him. And I'm glad he's back, and I hope he can steer things back in a proper direction and make a go of things again. I really hope. So we're coming from 1 hour. I really hope, Nick, if ever you do see this, I really hope that you can make a go of it. He's got 5 years of probation, guys, during which he can't do drugs, which, I mean, you're not supposed to do drugs anyway, so telling someone not to do drugs as part of a court order. That shouldn't matter. But he can't do alcohol. And he was a whiskey reviewer. He would review whiskies and tell you all about them. And now he's got to spend 5 years not touching a drop of any alcohol of any flavour of any type ever. That's not going to be easy. I spent 5 months not touching a drop. I mean, I had no choice. It wasn't like there was a choice involved, but he's got that to look at. But rackets, you don't know me from Adam, you never will. But fair play, mate. All the best to you. Hope you get shit back in line and can pick up and run with it and ignore the losers that are calling you all the names in chat. Just get on with it, doggone it, as a mate of yours might say. Okay, folks, like I said, he doesn't know me from Adam. He's never going to see that, so I'm talking to myself there. But yeah. So Rackets has been on for an hour and a half before I even know it, and then I watch it, and yeah. Weather forecast indicates there's not going to be any sun this Tuesday morning, and like I said, there's always a worry that the EcoFlow might be too low. But I put the solar panel out. The EcoFlow's down to 75%, and suddenly it's got 75 watts coming in first thing in the morning. And my friend Anthony turns up with a full breakfast and a 12-pack of beer. That's my kind of breakfast. No, shh, Rackets, if you're watching, no beer for you. Just no beer for you, mate. It's my beer. It's not for breakfast though. I have occasionally. I have done breakfast beer, but it's not. Hey. Hey. Oh, whoa. Tina, no. Hey, for anyone who's arriving late, the star of the show. It's just Tina. Hey, babe. Say hello. Say hello to the peoples. Tina, look this way. Anthony's the guy that got Tina the collar, by the way. I don't know if you can see. It's got Tina embossed in the leather. He made the collar. He's a leather worker. It's what he does. He makes things out of leather. Tina, no. Where am I? Anthony and the full breakfast plus beer. I found myself. The mention of beer, I hone right in on it. I am. What was the joke that Ricky Gervais told about sharks and Anne Frank? Nazis, sharks. He said how useless Nazis were. They'd searched that house hundreds and hundreds and never found her. A shark would have found her in no fucking time. Me and beer. Just one mention on the page, and I'm right there. There's no messing. Shush. So yeah, Anthony and the beer. Then it says here, it says, afternoon storm, thunder and lightning, and rain dripping through the tarpaulin, and there was no roof. There was no actual roof fabric at this point, and there's only the mesh, the inner lining for the bedroom. So anything that comes through the outer tarpaulin, it's either going to run off. A lot of it, depending where it lands, will run off the bedroom fabric, still inside the tent, but it runs off and runs down. But no, this was landing on the top and pooling on the top, and therefore was dripping in. And I had a bowl on the bed to catch this, dripping in 3 places, but fortunately all close together. So one bowl put underneath, and it's funny to talk about this now that I'm in a brand new tent, and this is all ancient history. 3 weeks ago, rain would have been a problem. now I'm sat here and there's rain predicted for later tonight. Up for now again. The thunder and lightning was the prediction again, but do you see sunshine? The weather forecast was thunder and lightning. Your guess is as good as mine. I've got no. I mean, that guy sticks his head out the window and whatever it's doing now, he just updates the forecast to say that for the next 3 hours. I'm guessing it's not thunder and lightning now, so that will have disappeared from the forecast. But yeah, so in the afternoon or evening, I've got these three things, these three drops dripping in. Oh, this is where a couple that I've never met before, a lady and gent, John and Tina, turned up and brought me a couple of bags of bedding, extra sheets and quilts and blankets. So thank you. I didn't put them in the thank yous, did I? I should have. I'm sorry. Along with Adela, Anthony, Karen et al., Karen family, Tom and Carmen, Anthony with the full breakfast, Josie and Peter. I should also have thanked John and Tina. I apologise for missing you off earlier. Sincerest apologies. Thank you very much. Your donation will be utilised, especially in winter when these things are really needed. So yeah, thank you. But yeah, they called around. I guess just after the rain, and again, folks, whenever it rains, lots of mosquitoes and flies just after. For 2 days after a rain, I get bitten to buggery. Lots and lots of flies. I'm in a field. What you know, and it's what you expect. In the campo, in El Campo, in España. Oh, don't be. Is this? I get. Oh, give me no. I think some of you've got more money than sense. I'm not gonna. We'll converse first to see whether I can tell people. But thank you. But you're terrible. You're naughty. You are, in the words of Dick Emery, ooh, you are awful, but I'll love you. Thank you. But yeah, after rain, I've got the, you can see this here now, can't you? Hold up. Oh, getting close to the, just this is an electric fly killer. You can see it's got a few, I haven't cleaned it in a little while. It's got a few in there. There are a few victims in there. Just, resume. Sorry, folks. It's, are we back? I was just looking at notifications, and when I let go, and then I did the camera reversey thing to look through the, it took me out of the app. There's nothing on screen to indicate that anywhere you click will take you out of the app. It shouldn't have. It just did. I'm back. It was hopefully I've lost half of you. We're down to just a few. Cheers to those of you that have stayed with me, despite the technical. If I call them glitches, that's understating it. It was me. Yeah. It was me. It was me, Chippy. Yeah. I did the camera thing, like this. Look. No. Oh, look. Now we're not revert. Hold on. I was just saying how good it was that for the second week on the trot, I don't have to hit the button twice to switch cameras, and now I have to hit the button twice. I was showing that, and I clicked to come back, and it took me out of YouTube entirely. When I came back to YouTube and went, you click the plus at the bottom, and it said, "Oh, you've got a live stream going. Do you want to resume?" Fuck yes, I want to resume. I didn't want to stop at all, you bugger. Anyway, where am I? I'm still only talking about Tuesday. We're an hour and 10 minutes exactly in. We're exactly an hour and 10 in. And I'm still just talking about Tuesday. Tuesday with the drips. Then my friends John and Tina came and brought bedding. I pushed out some old videos and advertised. Does you gotta do, not an iPhone. No, it's a Samsung. What's their top? It's a Samsung something Z Flip. It's like 1,500 quid's worth of fucking camera and phone. I got no king of the tramps, mate. King of the tramps with this 1,500 euros phone. Galaxy was the word I was looking for. Samsung Galaxy Z Flip. Okay, Tuesday night. Bit into shit and maybe the wet ground. Yeah, water on the ground because of the rain. Always, always, always. After the rain comes the flies and the I was going to say midges. That's Scotland or the north of England. Midges, mosquitoes, Spain. Got to remember what country I'm in and what the animals are called. Las moscas or mosquitoes. This was where I released the Got Wood video Wednesday morning. So I'd midges in the southern UK are gnats. Yeah. Moses and Moses. London Underground has its own breed of them, doesn't it? They're actually a unique species on the London Underground because of the warmth. You're underground and it's very warm, the air, and there's warmth and moisture. They get their own. Anyway, onwards. This was where I released the video that I called Tramps Got Wood or something. I've made a video a few years ago with a similar name about having wood. And it's obviously it's a play on Sheldon Cooper from Big Bang Theory, and having wood meaning, being tumescent. How many words can we put out that can we keep describing this but without getting too descriptive? Probably not. Anyway, right, that Wednesday I put out the Tramps Got Wood was about the wood that I'd retrieved from the guy who was fly tipping in the night when he started throwing rocks at me, and I walked at him like a fucking Terminator. Just keep throwing the rocks and I just keep walking at him till he starts to get frightened, jumps in his van and runs away. So yeah, Tramps Got Wood. But Wednesday is when I started to have you seen the song on YouTube, Pet Names for Genitalia, to the tune of We Didn't Start the Fire? No, I haven't, but now you've mentioned it, I'm gonna, because we were talking about We Didn't Start the Fire the other night, weren't we, during the TrampCast hangout. It was like 7 hours long, in it 6 or 7 hours in the end. I was still drinking at like fucking 5 or 6 in the morning. You'll be getting me a reputation, young man. You'll be getting me a reputation. Anyway, folks, Wednesday morning, I think we were talking about having wood, and Wednesday's when I started to empty the tent. We were going to get the new tent Thursday, we thought was the plan, because we wanted to avoid throwing it in the, yeah, God, yeah. I spilt 3 drinks, didn't I? It's not as bad as it sounds, folks, if you weren't there. I had my, I had my lantern perched on a cup, and the wind would blow or something, and the lantern would fall off, and it would knock like the open can, and it kept spilling beer. 3 times that went over in the first couple of hours. It got to the point where I figured it was easier just to drink the bloody beer. it was easier to drink it than it was to bathe in it. Anyway, going back, we are discussing the week ending Sunday, April the 27th, which is 2 weeks ago today. So we're covering 3 weeks ago up until 2 weeks ago. Yeah, I kept spilling my beer because it was Chippy's fault. He admits it. It's all his fault. Between Chipmunk and Jack Attack, folks, you've got to, if you've never attended one of the TrampCast hangouts, they're a lot of fun. I start them with nothing in mind. Like, I might try and read up on a topic or two that I want to mention at some point. But invariably, I either don't mention them or we just... 7 hours? I mean, what the fuck are we going to talk about for 7 hours? But we manage it somehow. It gets a little bit quiet at times. There are little bits. Hello, John Aldwin-Cole. John, hello. But Jack Attack can derail anything. He's a good one like that. Yeah. Yeah. I think it's because he's a Glaswegian. But he's a Scot. He's a jock, as we would call Scotsmen for anyone who's abroad. We call Scotsmen jocks, and it's not jock straps. It's not that he's a sportsman. It's just a word for Scots. I don't know why. But he's a jock that doesn't drink whiskey, which is anathema. I mean, what are you doing? How do you not drink whiskey if you're Scottish? Whiskey literally translates as water of life, I think, in Gaelic or whatever. But yeah, he doesn't drink. Okay, back a while ago, I was talking about the week ending Sunday, April the 27th. If we can just backstep there for a moment. So Wednesday was the day before I was intending to swap tents. I was emptying the tent out in readiness for the new tent arriving the day after. Oh, yeah. Oh, and so I've written very little about the actual day, about the process of carrying everything out and storing it under this big grey sheet over there. Yeah, the big plastic sheet over there. But somehow I managed to break. So my friend Karen got me a bank card, like a tippy tappy tap and go contactless payment card, in her name, but that I use. I mean, if you were to watch the terminal, it probably rings up and says that my name's Karen. I mean, but nobody looks, nobody cares. You can either do tippy tappy or you can put it in the machine. For a month or so, this card's been playing up. And it's been 50-50 or less for whether it works as a tippy-tappy. And I've been having to put it in the machine and use the pin code. But on this day, the day that I emptied the tent, at some point I've sat perched on the edge of a table or a chair or something. I've done something weird and I've bent the card. But just the card's been bent like that, like forever. It's had a bend in the middle, no problem. But this day, the day that we emptied the tent, I've bent the corner, right across the corner, right where the chip is, and the chip's popped out. It's no longer... So not only will the card not fit into a fucking machine anymore, but the chip is... It's a separate entity. The chip isn't in the card anymore. So there's no tap and pay. There's no put it in the slot and do pin. I am fucking cashless. I've got, obviously you heard, someone sent me some money before. I've got money in PayPal. I just don't have a way to spend it. I haven't got a card anymore. My phone contract, it's not a contract. My pay-as-you-go is due next week. So I've got 7 days. Now, because I've already paid online with it, I can just pay again. And the only proof I need is just to type in that 3-digit code, the security code from on the back. So that should go through okay. But nothing, I no longer have a usable card. If I haven't used it, if I haven't used it already, the cover, that security thing. It's literally, I've bent it and the whole chip's literally popped out of the card. There's no, when it's been bent before, it could be the coil because it's inductive, isn't it? It picks up a magnetic field. The coil generates a charge, and that's where you get your electric. But now job's fucked because chip isn't even in the card. Yeah, it could have cracked the coil. Something was wrong. But now that the chip's not even in, it's enameled copper wire, solid core, so it will break. Yeah, I would expect so. Yeah. But having the wire there to generate a charge, but no chip, no chip to use the charge, or a chip that's separate and distinct. And because the way the corner's curled, there's no putting the. Even if I seat the chip in the card, it's not going to go in the machine because of the way that got an email. Yeah, I've got an email. Delta Mike. It's in all the descriptions except not in this one. Delta Mike Torrevieja@gmail.com. It's on all the videos except this one and maybe the last one if I didn't get around to editing that after the other night, if you remember. Delta Mike Torrevieja. We almost got Clive to say it the other day, but he gave up, didn't he? He wouldn't. Or did it? He said it wrong. Torrevieja. He insists on the J. Torrevieja. But yeah, it's a J. Anyway, way back, if anybody remembers this far back, 20 minutes ago, I was talking about the Wednesday during the week ending April 27th and how I was trying to empty a tent. He does it on purpose. It could well be. Half the time he just reads my comment and doesn't even say my fucking name. He just... It's all fun. Okay, where am I? Oh, so this day, the day before the tent, my friend Adela, who I've mentioned I know from the before times, Adela and me used to drink in a bar called the Medusa Bar, 20 minutes that way. She lives just down the street here. So I'd be overstating it if I said we'd been friends. We knew each other. We were acquaintances from the before times. I would now say that we're friends because she helps me out quite a bit. She arrived this day with a 3-litre Tupperware case, a 3-litre Tupperware full of a stew. 3 litres Tupperware of stew with couscous and all sorts of other bits and pieces. Yeah, it was fantastic. People, lovely people who are helping out. It's fantastic, folks. It really is. And I want to highlight when people are nice like that. 3 litres Tupperware. And she's been back since and she wasn't even bothered about asking for the Tupperware back. I've still got it. It's over there in a bag. I'll give it back next time. But it's difficult for me to wash things and get things clean because living in a field, not a lot of water. But I'll give her a Tupperware back next time she's here. She's been back since, like I said, a couple of times probably. But yeah, I had that as my main evening meal, and as I've said here, I had it as my evening meal and as a midnight snack, and then breakfast. There was 3 litres of stew. I mean, that's a fucking lot of food. So yeah, Wednesday. That's my. So Wednesday, as Chippy and some of the others here will know, Wednesday night means Scruff Dog. He does his Lego and I'm not sure. I'm not sure where we were 3 weeks ago. I'm not sure if he'd started building this engine and stuff, or whether we're still on with the car, the remote control car that he broke the first time he used it. He ran it into his own foot and broke it. But that's then he was trying to fix it. I don't know. I don't know where we were 3 weeks ago, but Wednesday night, what time? Is it 11 o'clock my time on a Wednesday? It might be 10 or 11. Chipmunk anyway, and he's building. These guys are a lot more technical than me, guys. People like Chipmunk, scruffed up. I mean, Big Clive. Big Clive's got 1 million. Big Clive dissects. Fuck. He dissected a sex toy. Yes, well, not even a toy. Like a Victorian era vibrating device. But Big Clive's got 1 million. He's got 1 million. I mean, these are proper real tech professionals. I'm a guy who programmed a bit of fucking website stuff once upon a time. These guys are these are the real deal. Yeah. I am but a lowly. I'm a hack in comparison to these guys. Phenomenal. Anyway, okay. Apparently, I fell asleep halfway through Scruff Dog's thing that night, and last night I fell asleep halfway through Scruff's. I managed all the way through Big Clive's, but I fell asleep. Probably. I don't remember seeing Pussies and Pianos. So yeah, less than halfway last night. But this Wednesday, I'd had a long day. This was me emptying the entire tent. Me and my backache. If you remember, 3 or 4 months ago, I went to step around Tina. I took my right leg and I had to go around the left side of Tina. Tina moved, making it even more precarious. And by the time I got my foot on the deck, I was in agony, excruciating the way I'd twisted and tweaked my back. And every week since, I never get 7 days without re-aggravating it. Printed track's not embedded wire inside the... So it's plastic wire and then plastic over the top. I don't know how they do that, but very clever. But it is inductive with a coil. I'm pretty certain of that. Anyway, but my back. Yeah, I'm technical. Don't do yourself down. Someone should put me down. I don't know about do me down. But for at least 3 months, maybe 4, I've never had I had a bad back once for 1 week. And that was almost deadly when it did happen. I was living on Avenida de la Mancha. It's a big road this end of Torrevieja, Aguas Nuevas, New Waters, is that what translate as. And there was my house was a, what do you call them? Is it duplex? It's not duplex. Back like a terrace, but directly back to back and other buildings to the side. But it had a concrete spiral staircase. It's not exactly a spiral, but and I was in the bathroom. I'd been in the shower and I was drying myself off, and I just touched the door handle with my back. And I just caught it wrong, not hard, but it went. And there I am in the bathroom, obviously fucking bollock naked, and my mate Ismo's on his way, I think, coming round. There's just me and Tina in the apartment, and I've got to get dry, I've got to get dressed, I've got to get down the stairs, and every step is kind of triangular because concrete spiral, you know. So you got to stick to the outside to walk down, otherwise you're walking on a fucking really narrow, pointy bit of cement or concrete. That's the only other time I've had a bad back. It lasted about 5 or 6 days and was gone. But this one, I never get rid of because I'm constantly aggravating it. Bending, living in a tent, everything's on the floor. You're bending, you're twisting, you're picking things up off the ground, you're putting things down on the ground, you're cooking on the floor. You're not cooking on a hob that's at hob level. You're boiling water on the fucking floor. Your bed, my bed. Look. Oh, it's a second click. It was one click when I first started. There's Tina. But there's my bed. It's on the ground. I'm up and down off the floor. 56-year-old blokes aren't supposed to be getting up and down off the floor all the time. That's not how life's supposed to be. But and also Tina's back legs don't work, so I'm carrying her. I'm carrying the back end. When we get up in the morning, the back legs just aren't working at all. Front legs fine, she's in and out of the, but the back legs, I have to pick her up and over the doorway, the threshold. There's this, can you see it from here? Let me see if I can show you the doorway. Oh, second. It's between 6 and 9 inches tall. From the floor is where that crease is at the bottom, the dark crease at the bottom. And then you got to get up to the black rim on the doorway where the you can see the cigarette lighter adapter for the cool box there. Well, that's the doorway. It's a good 9 inches, and she can't. Her front end is bulking up. She's getting more muscular on the front because she's dragging herself around. When she gets on the bed and her front paws are on and she has to pull her whole body up with those two front legs because the back legs are just useless. She's dragging them. So her chest, los pechos, she's bulking up. But in the morning, she's walking on her toes, not on the floor on her toes, on the tops of her toes, dragging them. So I'm carrying her. She's 30 odd kilograms in total, but I'm carrying the back end when we go anywhere. When I take her out for a peas and poos. And it only takes one wobble from her for me to have to wobble and walk, and it rags my back. I ragged my back this morning in bed, trying to turn over and change a fucking video on YouTube. I aggravated my back. It's as simple as that, folks. It really does not take it doesn't take strain. It's just the way you twist sometimes. And I'm taking these, what I would consider to be horse tranquilizer kind of size painkillers. I've said before, I would take 3 painkillers a year, probably less on average. Some days I'm taking 3 painkillers, and they might be a whole fucking gram. We're not talking 50 milligrams or 100 milligrams. 1 gram, 1,000 milligrams. That's a paracetamol. The ibuprofen, I think, is 600 milligrams, 500 or 600 milligrams. These are what I would previously have considered kind of fucking horse tranquilizer. These are not human. Oh, sorry, folks. I'm trying to get comfortable with my back, and I'm crowding the camera. Where was I? Not technically says, but knows drug doses correctly. My knowledge is broad but shallow. I don't know. I don't know anything in depth. Computers, programming, the internet, maybe, but everything else, no. I'm broad but shallow with my knowledge. What day did we get to, folks? Wednesday night, Scruff Dog. I fell asleep during Scruff Dog. Wednesday night. Okay. Thursday. So this is, for anyone who's new, anyone who's joining new, Sunday, April the 27th, 2025. We're discussing the week ending April 27th, 2025. I am Delta Mike, or at least it's a character I play on the internet. Delta Mike, down and out in Torrevieja. Down and out. Down and out. Homeless, a tramp, a hobo, a vagrant, an indigent person, a person of no fixed abode. In Spanish, vagabond, which is also a word in English, I know. A bum, the Americans might say. Someone who sleeps rough. Hey, shush. Someone who sleeps on the streets, or lives on the streets, or in my case, in a field. Recently, in a new palace. I am in a new tent as of 2 weeks and a couple of days ago. Tina, it's okay. It's okay, babe. It's okay. Either you can eat them or I'll smack them. It's okay. Just relax. One way or the other, we'll be okay. That's my girl. There was a day when she would have eaten them. If there's trouble. Where did I get to? Vagabond. I got all these synonyms for being homeless, for being a tramp. The word tramp. YouTube don't like me using that word. It's a little bit pretentious, isn't the right word. What would be the right word? It's a little bit playful. I play with it because I'm smarter than the average bear. You know what I mean? I'm not. It's not like I'm some fucking homeless, drug-addled. You know what I mean? I'm not. That's not it. It's so when someone says tramp and you've got this image of a certain kind of person, I'll shut up there, because if I say any more, I'll sound pretentious and like I'm trying to be superior. Anyway, Thursday morning, early dog walk. Lot to do today. This is the day, folks. Thursday, new tent on the way, inbound. There's new fabric inbound with my friends. A tramp was someone who wandered, if I remember correctly. To tramp around is to move from place to place looking for work. Yeah, like similar to hobo. Chippy's covering the same ground as I would have. Down but not out. I've had that conversation with people. Yeah, I've tried in the early days. If you watch some of the early videos, I would say down but not out. But in terms of typing it and synonyms, and it just worked better. Also, when I'm on the cadge, when I'm looking for money, to say down and out possibly works better than to say down and not out. There's also literary allusions because of Eric Blair. What's his down and out in London and Paris, or Paris and London, whichever way around he put those two names. I've read the book, but I can't remember his 1984. What's he called? Big Brother. Eric Blair's his real name. I can't remember his pen name. Fuck. Oh, and also there's the film George Orwell. Thank you, Chippy. Yeah. There's also the Nick Nolte, wasn't it? Down and Out in Beverly Hills. Yeah. So there are certain literary and movie allusions to going with the down and out. It's that part that's smarter than the average, but I'm maintaining literally allusions with my YouTube channel name. Smarter than the fucking average bear. Me and Yogi. And Boo Boo. Hey Boo Boo. I tell myself a joke sometimes that I've never heard before. It's funny. It's funny to me. It might not be to you. I don't know. Where was I? So this day. This is the moving day. This is the so the day before I've moved as much out. Bungle. Yeah, okay. George and Zippy and Bungle. Yeah, okay. Okay, Jeffrey. Jeffrey. Yeah. Where am I? I'm oh fuck. You wouldn't believe it, but I try to keep this show PG. The TrampCast hangout later at night, then we can let rip. This I'm supposed to not swear too much. This is you're supposed to be able to sit down with your kids or grandkids and but I fail every time because do you want to play with my twanger? I fail every time just because I'm a grown-up. Grown-ups swear. When you were a kid, you wanted to be a grown-up and have and be able to stay up as late as you wanted and drink beer and swear. I was about to say maybe smoke, but I never did that. I never got there. But okay, tent moving day. It's wet outside. Very wet morning. If you've seen the video from the moving day, the dew that lay all about. So I decided to leave it until after 10 o'clock. I didn't want to move stuff out and put stuff out in the wet. And just at 10, as I'm about to start, this is when my friend Anthony arrives and brings me, this was the day, a full-on fucking baguette. He says swearing at him, and he just said he didn't want to. But not like not a sandwich roll. Baguette, a big fuck off French stick. He's cut it in half, and there must be 10 sausages in there. Proper, not even hot dog sausage, proper real sausages. And there's 10 of them inside this fucking baguette. Yeah, it's so he arrives and I think it's probably one of his last few days in Spain before he was going home for a while. Yeah, baguettes plus sausages. Yeah, it was a pseudo hot dog, but you've just never seen so much sausage inside so big a piece of bread. That sounds rude, doesn't it? You've never seen so much sausage. You're telling yourself your own jokes now, folks. That wasn't me. What's this saying? Can't read my own writing. Big bag of corns? Coins. Oh, okay. Coins. Big bag of coins. Okay, so this was Anthony's last day. Must have been, because he brought, as well as bringing me the big baguette with all the sausage. This was the day that he brought me the bag of coins, and I could see actual euro coins and a €2 coin and 50-cent piece. This wasn't ones and twos, you know, 1 cent, 2 cent. This was 20s and 50s and a euro and everything. And then half an hour later, I noticed a €10 note sat on the top of all the fucking coins. Anthony, I said it at the time, my friend. You are awful, but I love you. Thank you. Yeah, shrapnel, but proper real shrapnel though, the heavy stuff, not the. This wasn't the ones and twos. It was proper coins, big coins. Yeah. So as well as big fuck off hot dog, I've also got big bag of coins plus note. Even more, folks. See, this one morning, this was epic. This was when Josie and Peter arrived, and she brought me. I think I showed this last week, but I'll show it again now because it would be rude not to. Well, first click didn't work. Oh, look how bright that is. That's brighter on screen than it is in real life. The big burgundy bag there, that's 18 kilograms of dog food. But as well as that, 18 kilograms, that won't be cheap. But as well as that, they also brought 2 shopping bags of normal food and one of those insulated kind of not freezer bag, that sounds wrong. The metallic padded insulated bags that your shopping comes in when you've done an online order. And yeah, you get the frozen stuff. Sorry, I'm burping and getting in my own way, folks. But yeah, there was ham on, there was boiled ham, there was I don't even. I mean, it's weeks ago now. This is what I said about not liking doing TrampCast 3 weeks in arrears. It's not how it should be. If I was talking about this week, I'd be able to remember what everything was. There was a bag of food, butter and margarine, ham, serrano ham, all sorts. All of the fridgeables, but in a metallic padded bag. So thank you, Josie and Peter. And again, did I have you? Do you know I did not? Oh, I did. I had Josie listed because of the money that she gave later, but I didn't list her. I didn't list the pair of them, Josie and Peter, on the day that they. You'd call that a freezer bag. When someone says freezer bag, I think of like a little Ziploc, transparent plastic bag. I don't know. That's what if you say freezer bag to me, that's what comes. Something that you might put a pound of stew in and then you might freeze it. I don't know. We can argue over the terminology. Maybe we can get Rob Words to tell us what the proper. I think you're a Rob Words fan as well. We can get Rob Words to tell us the distinction between different kinds of freezer bags. Or the purple people, if we go Susie Dent and Giles Brandreth. Okay, so that was continuing Thursday. So I spent a couple of hours emptying the tent, as I've said. It's that morning, we're going to do this. We're going to do this thing. Karen contacts me and says, hey, do you want coffee? I'm en route. And I'm like, I can make coffee here. But she's like, no. My coffee is proper coffee, not your instant rubbish. She's making me proper coffee to bring. Hey, Fama. Hello. Let me catch up with myself. I am really late today, aren't I? It's going to be dark soon, look, and I'm 20:51. Nearly 9 o'clock. I'm surprised it's light at all. A few weeks ago, it would have been dark by now. It doesn't get any later than this, really, either. Spain, is that longitude or latitude? I never mastered learning which way around those are. Lateral, latitude. I guess is that latitude? So this is longitude. I don't know. It'll be dark soon, it will. But I've got a lamp here somewhere. And mosquito just landed on my nose. Did you see that? Just the cheek of it. Latitude is side to side. Yeah, okay. I used logic to get there, even though I didn't know. See, that's one of my skills. Lateral, latitude. Who knew? I didn't. I make this shit up. Latitude. Yeah, okay. Latte. That's a drink, yeah? Coffee. What's a flat white or a knickerbocker mocha chocker? I've got no fucking idea. I'm swearing again. I'm swearing like a trooper today. I don't normally. I try not to. Where am I? Karen's coming. She's bringing coffee. We're on Thursday during the week ending Sunday, April 27th. So we're on the Thursday. So that would make it the 24th? 20. I can't do the maths. Or the math, if you must. Side to side, Mike. Yeah, that's sometimes side to side. Anyway, there's still so much to empty because people are the people arriving, bringing goods and bringing food and bringing me money, keep disturbing me while I'm trying to empty my tent. Oh, that was Chippy's birthday. Okay, happy birthday. I'm sorry if I missed it. I don't know if we mentioned it. I don't know if we would have mentioned it on the Wednesday during Chipmunk. I don't know. Anyway, happy birthday. Where am I, folks? Where am I? So much still to empty. And then we jump forward. Suddenly it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon. At 2 o'clock in the afternoon, we're ready to start dismantling the tent. I don't know what happened in the intervening hours. I don't remember. Lots of in and out, chest of drawers, Have you seen this chair, folks? Have you actually? Have I? I have. I try and show you this, but oh, I guess it's no. Oh, why did I do that? This chair is a proper, like a proper old lady chair, a proper wingback King Queen Anne. I don't know the proper term, but it's a proper big old piece of heavy furniture. Oh, I hit the button to try and reverse it, which was wrong, but fortunately it didn't take. I got a big chest of drawers over there in the bedroom. There's rugs on the floor. There's televisions and fans and the mattresses. There's work to do to empty this place. It's not easy to empty this place. Hey, babe. Shush, shush. We're okay. We're okay. You can eat them next year, okay? No, not now. We don't need to go and eat anybody just yet. I'll let you do that later. So there was all this work to do emptying the place, folks. So we cracked on, but somewhere around 2 o'clock, suddenly we were well placed enough to think about actually dismantling the tent. So taking the tarpaulins off the roof. And this was where, if you watch the video and you see that for 7 months I've been living in this, you got the ribs, the bones, the rods, the poles, the tent poles, bent over in fabric sleeves. But that's basically all that was left of the old tent. There was no walls. The bedrooms were suspended at either end. The internal black fabric like this. God, I like it when the so you had the internal bedroom suspended from the ribs, suspended from the bones, just like we have here. So you'd got that, but there was no actual tent left. We had floor and the skirt around, the 6 inches of black around the bottom of the walls. I went around with a knife and I cut all of the remaining walls away. And it was mainly just, there was the odd wall, there was the odd window, but most of it had already gone. So we kept the plastic. We took it away, the plastic and the carpet from inside, the rug from inside. And we kicked down, we patted down the floor, we stomped the floor down. The actual mouse holes that were coming up, we put stones in and hammered those down, and then we turned and flipped the fabric so that the holes in the plastic didn't line up with the actual mouse holes, you know, where they were coming up, even though we'd put stones in there, rocks in there. So we just turned and moved that, put the I don't remember which way around we did it with the fabric and the carpet, the rug, but we put the rug face down and on the ground. I think then we put the plastic over the top, the floor, positioned and twisted and turned, put that down, and then we had a little bit of a breather while we prepared for the tent proper, for the new tent. Took it out of the bag and did the stuff. Yeah, the mouse come out the ground. They had nests underground. I was putting 2 litres. I've told the story about my piss pots. My people say you're to put have a pot to urinate in. I am. It's not pottery. It's. I cut the top off of a Coca-Cola bottle. So you've got 1 3/4 litres of plastic, and I've got a bigger tin that it sits in nicely and stands nice and stable. And when the mice started coming up from underground, I would drown the little bastards. I was killing them, and if them and their babies were living underground there, they were getting a litre and 3/4 of noxious. I called it a noxious substance. A litre and 3/4. I've also told the tale when I was in the police cells and they didn't come and check on us for about 18 hours. And I literally filled a 2-litre bottle. Bright brown it was. By bright I mean like dark and viscous brown. It almost fluoresced. It was so dark brown. It if you can be so dark that you almost fluoresce, I'd been holding on to this. I'd been holding on to a bladder full for, and they just did not. I'm ringing the bell. I'm shouting. Nobody came for fucking hours. I was there 18 hours in between being served. Maybe being served breakfast and given tea at the end of the day, given a meal at the end of the day. And in the end, I gave in and had to. I just took the empty 2 litre bottle from breakfast, and I 3/4 filled this thing with the most dark, viscous. Like I said, it was so brown it almost fluoresced. It was a bizarre thing to behold. And when they finally came and said, "Hey, does anyone need the bathroom?" I'm like, "Yeah." And can I bring this? And I got the 2 litre fucking water bottle. I don't know. How did we get here? How did we get into 2 litres of a noxious substance? I think it was because of mice and and drowning them underground. I had them. They came up in 2 different places, Chippy. There was one over there by the bedroom doorway, and there was one over by this spare bedroom, the storage room doorway. I had 2 entry points where they literally burrowed up and chewed through the tent and through the floor and into the tent, as well as various other entry points that they came in when the walls all disappeared. But yeah, I had mice. I've talked about my growing kind of my admiration for them, but at the same time as admiring them, you can't live with them. They carry diseases. They shit where they eat and where they're you cannot be living with them. You can't be living with. You can't tolerate them. Last year, it pained me to kill them. This year I celebrated every fucking death because they were so blatant and so in my face. They were so. When you've spent 4 hours chasing around your tent trying to fucking smack them, trying to whack them, trying to chase them away, trying to make them go away. When you've poured 2 litres of your urine down the hole to try and make them fuck off. When you've done as much as I'm pouring piss in my own tent to try and get rid of them, or I was. Eventually, enough is enough. And when my friends Adam and Mel got me the mouse traps, I jumped for joy with every death. I celebrated each and every one of them. I think with time, I will soften and I will start to look back on that and I will maybe regret my lack of humanity. Maybe. But I'm not there yet. The traps are humane in the fact that they're instant. Last year's mouse traps, there was thrashing about, there was death throes, there was one time when it snapped on one and it ran away with the fucking trap. There's none of that with these. They're just dead. Just gone. There's just absolutely no messing. The trap goes and it's dead. There's no ifs, there's no buts, there's no chasing around after it. In the past, I've had to stamp on them to put them out of their misery. It was war. Yeah. It was war. They're carrying disease. They're running around. I've said about how Karen brought me shopping, and I put it inside the tent. And by the next morning, you could, if you'd gathered all of the mouse droppings together, it would have been a handful in one night. Fortunately, everything was sealed and contained, and there was there's no messing. I said about how I accidentally killed a bird last year, because I've got a dog, I wanted to move the traps out of the way. I picked it up and put it on a surface, and I didn't disarm it, and a poor blackbird came down, pecked at the trap, and got deaded. Flapped around for 5 or 10 seconds. I that that hurt. I really struggled with that. That really tormented me back then. Chipmunk killed a squirrel. It's your cousin. Thank you for making it a bit more light-hearted, because I mentally last year killing mice, killing the blackbird, killing rats. I mean, there was a mouse I killed like with my foot. I stomped on it. I saw it heading from the bedroom, and I just stomped it instinctively and got it. Didn't expect that, but I did. But this year, I use the word plagued. They plagued me this year, and so I took pleasure in their death this year. I was glad. I gloated. I don't know whether that's a good thing or not. Like I said about the loss of humanity, the loss of. But what else are you gonna do? They plagued me. They had to go. Where am I? How much? I need to think about putting a light on, because I can't read my own notes right now. Let me. Wait. Do I want it on its brightest setting? Where do I want it? Do I want it? There's no good. There. It has to be there, does it? So that I can pick out my notes. Disco. Mobile disco. Are we okay for brightness here? Not gloating, satisfied. Yeah, reducing the pains. Yeah, it was a case of yeah, removing a barrier to happiness, but also a threat of disease, a threat of, I said about how I had a chopping board next to my bed. I've got the chopping board that I use here, and that is like my bedside cabinet, but also a chopping board. I had a separate one that's actually a chopping board that I prepare sandwiches and food on. Well, imagine you get a snack in the middle of the night, you make yourself a pate sandwich or something, and then when you wake up in the morning, there's mouse shit on your chopping board. Are you making another meal on that chopping board today? I live in the middle of a field, so what are you doing in terms of cleansing or cleaning that? I'll wash it with washing, water and washing up liquid. I'll leave it out in the sun for 2 or 3 days, let the ultraviolet and the ozone do its thing. But can I be sure that it's actually sterile? Difficult. So yeah, all of that. Anyway, where am I? I remember we were in the middle of preparing the ground and doing the tent. My back and painkillers. We start putting up the tent. I said I would cut away the fabric from the bottom. We put the bottom down. We've kept the rug from out of the tent. We've now got under the tent, under the new tent. My back and painkillers. This is where I have to let Karen's husband kind of take over. He did, once we'd got the tent up, we did all the poles and with the new tent. But, what the fuck? I thought it was a rat. It's a big bird. Quick look, maybe. We're back to 2 clicks. There's just this huge, hold on, there he is. The way that he just wandered across nonchalantly, it just kind of struck me. Back to the supposed star of the show. A jug of bleach. Yeah, I haven't got. I've got a little bit of bleach somewhere in there, because I used to use it for water purification back before people bought me proper water purification tablets. Long story, you'd have to read right back or go right back a year or more ago. Anyway, folks, where was I? Where was I? Pegging out the tent, yeah, the guy lines and the pegs and all that bending over and hammering. I'd, I damaged my back too much by this point. So Karen's husband took over the manly duties. He finished. He put the. I'm not saying he put the tent up, but I mean, he kind of did. Me and him fed the rods through and got it there. But then he did all the pegging out of the different guy lines and things. And then he also he was the one. I got red lights in the trees over there. What's that about? But he was the one that said, "Hey, I was gonna like, oh, we'll put the tarpaulins on tomorrow," and he was like, "No, no, no, now." Yeah, he okay. Cheap is off to do something with a 19-kilogram propane tank. Good luck with that. Um, I had to take a back seat. My back was absolutely. I think it was the back. It's the car. It was the back rear lights. They're you shouldn't be able to get a car this far over. I don't know what they're doing. There's a road to the cliff tops over there, but then the cliff tops come along, and somebody's taken a car right. They're in real danger of bottoming out, and is it an oil sump underneath when you bottom out your car and you scrape it and you get an oil leak under. Yeah, they're way more over than they should be. They should be over there, and they're over there. Each to their own. Let them. It's their car. Little old lady on the track here a couple of months ago, she bottomed out, and the line of oil, the streak of oil along the road, and then her car ended up kind of stuck. She got another 150 yards, and that was that was it. She didn't get anywhere beyond that. I don't know why I'm laughing. She's a nice lady. She waves and says hello. Okay, where am I? We were putting tents up, and yeah. So after we got the tent up, and I start bringing things in. I bring the important things in. Obviously, the bed and the bedding, and food. I don't want to be leaving food lying out with mice and rats and everything. So I bring all of that in, and then I lose. I said about how Anthony that morning had brought me a bag of coins and a note. I lost it. I found it again the next day, fortunately, in amongst the stuff. But I was quite anxious because that was my only cash at that point. I said about how this day, the Thursday we're talking about, I'd bent the card and the chip had come out with the chip and pin card. Not chip and pin, tap and go. Whatever you're going to call it. So having some cash was kind of important, and I'd misplaced it. Yeah, so I came in that night, and that's when I started with the painkillers, and I had somebody was worried on my behalf. They thought I was going to get addicted, but these are not. We're not in America. These are not morphine. What's the word I'm looking for? They're not that. These are just paracetamol or ibuprofen. There's no addiction. Come and go. Came and went. Yeah, okay. Yeah, a bit too risque for me. But yeah, no, yeah, somebody was, I can't remember who, but somebody was concerned that I might be risking addiction with I can't think of the word. What's that class of drugs? Morphine, heroin, opiates. These are not opiates. They're paracetamol or what's that in America? You don't have the word acetaminophen, something like that. That's what we call paracetamol. These are not, yeah, no, not bad. There's nothing with these. These are just, I don't know what ibuprofen actually is, but I know that paracetamol is, oh, do I? No, is it aspirin that's willow bark or willow? I think that's aspirin. I don't know, folks. I know nothing. Okay. But I'm laid down. I'm laid down at night, and I am taking. I think I took 4 or 5 painkillers that night. First night in the new tent, I'm not sure Tina even noticed because we'd taken everything out, brought everything in, and the bed's in the same position. It, the bedroom's not as wide. I think I've said about how in the old tent you could get two beds next to each other, two mattresses next to each other. Here, you got the mattress, and then you've only got 2 feet, maybe 3 foot to the side. So there's noticeably less space bedroom wise because of the tent being smaller, and then this bigger gap around the bedrooms, a bigger gutter as I would call it, around where the bedroom is suspended inside the tent. There's just a bigger track around the sides. So it is noticeable over, but I don't think Tina just. We went out. I messed about all day. Friends came around. She loves Karen's family. She's absolutely in love with them. They came around. We did things, and then we got back into bed, and I think that's all Tina noticed. I don't think she knew it was a new tent. I still don't think she's realised. She showed no signs of it. She just Mike may be upset at me for what I just did. I doubt it. What have you just done, pal? What do? You took a torch. By torch, are you talking about like a flamethrower? Because you were just talking about you're allowed to say pikey because you are Romany. I lived on a caravan site with Jippos. I see. There's loads of messages here that I haven't even seen. I will come back. I will go back through chat at the end, folks. If that's okay with you, I will. But did you self-medicate? Alcohol and painkillers. I saw someone giving like real warnings about never take ibuprofen when you've had ale, when you've had booze. I would say that I kind of always have. Never a thing. Not a. Then, like I said, I take painkillers so infrequently. So when I say always have, I don't mean I'm always taking them. If I take a painkiller, it's usually probably for a hangover. That would be 90% of all the painkillers I've ever taken in my life are probably hangover related. Now I've got lights through the trees. Hopefully it's something and nothing, folks. I hope I don't have to hit somebody later. Don't know. Where am I? So yeah, I'm lying in bed. I'm taking painkillers. My back's been killing me. I've had to let other people do the pegging out of the tent. So thank you, Karen and family. Thank you. Yeah, Tina. I think Tina didn't even notice that it was a new tent. For some reason, Thursday night into Friday, for some reason, 2 a.m. dog walk. I don't know why. Tina just sometimes is like that. Oh, it's because I fell asleep. So if I've taken her out at say 4 o'clock and I say, oh, I'll take her out at 10 or 11 or something like that. But then if I fall asleep, if I wake up then at 2 in the morning, I got to take her out, haven't I? She's not gonna last from 4 in the afternoon until 8, 9, 10 the next morning. So my fault. I fell asleep. I was so tired after all that heavy work, lifting and bending and all that grunt work, emptying the tent and bringing stuff back in, emptying mattresses and chairs and I think the unit. I think I brought the chest of drawers in the next day. See, even despite my bad back and pain, the next morning I've still got donkey work to do. I've still got grunt work. I've got to pick shit up and bring it back. Um, but yeah, 2 a.m. dog walk, awake the rest of the night because I've slept in the afternoon or evening, the late afternoon and through the evening into the night. Thursday morning into Friday, and I'm just awake, waiting. This is almost a theme recently. Waking up early and the morning progressing so fucking slowly. When you wake up at 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock and then you're awake the rest of the night and you're waiting and eventually it becomes 3 o'clock and eventually 4 o'clock. All night. You watch a program on YouTube and then you look back, maybe I'll watch Chef Jean Pierre or something, I'll watch a cookery program and it's quarter of an hour later than when I last looked. And it's tortuous waiting for 7 o'clock and 8 o'clock and for daylight and oh man, some days. And this morning was like that. I could not get going this morning because the day just would not start. I was I was here, but the day wasn't. It was hell. And the day that we're talking about back here, the Friday of the week ending Sunday, April 27th, was it was just torture. It just would not happen. Early dog. So we went out at 2 a.m., but then we went out again in the morning with an early dog walk. Um, and I got a crack on bringing things in. I had a field full of stuff that needed bringing back into the tent, into the new tent. It's not coming back in, it's coming in for the first time because it's a new tent. Um, but I got a crack on with that, and I eventually find the cash, the money that Anthony had brought the day before and that I had misplaced. But I found it. I found it. So thank you, Anthony. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So I crack on bringing things in. Karen sends me a message. Karen's inbound again, and this time they're bringing supplies, beer and wine, and things. They look after me, folks. They really do look after me. For a tramp, you couldn't have greater friends. And also, they help me decide what to keep and what to throw. They're more ruthless than me. I look at these things and I'm like, I remember being given this. I don't want to throw these clothes away or this bedding away or this. I remember when the guy brought it to me. I'm not throwing. And they're like, you haven't used it in 3 months, 6 months. Well, throw it. And we did need to be a bit more ruthless because there's a limit to how much you can bring back in. There is a limit to how much you can bring back in. So they're much more ruthless than me, and that is something apparently. That is something that I need. I need friends that are more ruthless. I guess I'm a little bit too emotional. I get tied to these items, and I guess I arrived in this field with almost nothing. A bedroll and some water, and one cushion for the dog, 2 picnic blankets, and a hold all of my belongings. And that's so everything that I've accrued over time, I have a bond with. I have yeah. And I guess that's a little bit, it's a little bit suboptimal because there's only so much you can have. There's only so much space in here, either floor space or even when you start piling it up. I don't have much in the way of shelving. I've got this set of drawers. I got my veg rack. Thank you, Colleen. Thank you, Adam and Mel, for the drawers. But there's not much in the way of stackable. So floor space, flat surfaces. I've done a whole rant on how every flat surface just gets covered in stuff. So I just have to be a bit more ruthless in what to throw away versus what to keep. My friends are better at that than I am. I'm a little bit too attached to some of these things. Um, yeah, yeah. Oh, okay. This is also so. This is a day, obviously, after I've moved into the tent. But this is also the day that I made a comment. There's a guy does cookery called Future Canoe. Check out. He doesn't need me to promote him. The guy's got like 2.5 million subscribers. Um, some guy called Gordon watched one of his videos and said how great it was. Do you know Gordon? He cooks a little bit. You might have. He swears. He swears almost as much as me. um, yeah, Gordon watched one of Future Canoe's videos, and Future Canoe's channel took off like fuck yeah. Because that's what happens when someone called Gordon that cooks a little bit looks at your channel. But Future Canoe, I made a comment on one of his videos a while back, and apparently some people quite liked my comment. 100,000 people liked my comment. 100,000 people liked my one comment. That's not bad. I like that. That's an ego stroke. That works for me. 100,000 people. Fuck yeah. I've got to race Scruff Dog. We're racing to 1 million. He doesn't know it. He was joking with Clive, and now I'm joking with him about who's going to be first to get to 1 million subscribers. What am I on? 1,308 or 9. 1 million, here we come. Anyway, yeah. Where are we? So this was the day that I got 100,000 on Future Canoe's video. Check out. He's a little upcoming cook called Future Canoe. Very deadpan. He delivers in a very monotone, unenergetic manner. But he's fun. I like him. He's a good laugh. Okay, folks, it's Friday night. I tried to watch Friday Night Tights. And if you've watched any of my videos recently, you will know that me and Friday Night Tights used to be my favorite program of the week. Nowadays, we just do not get on. It just is not happening for me. So the channel is Nerdrotic. So think erotic, but drop the initial E, put the word Nerdrotic. I get bored. Whatever the latest thing is, whatever the latest film or TV series, whatever they're reviewing, they just talk about it for an hour and a half at the beginning, and it just... if it's not a film I'm ever going to watch, why do I fucking care? I might give you 15 minutes, 20 minutes, maybe half an hour at a push, but I'm not going to watch an hour and a half about some film that I'm never going to watch. It just doesn't work for me. So I keep trying it. I keep going back. I remember how much I liked it back in the day. I keep going back and trying it. No, it isn't working for me. It just isn't working for me. So my Friday night was a failure. Into Saturday morning. And I woke late. Very late. And the tent was very hot. The sun's coming up. Well, the east is to the side there. The sun comes up and it's hitting broadside on the entire length of the tent. We've got tarpaulins over the top to try and make it look like the old tent, so the police can't tell that there's any difference. And we're just sweltering. Normally I will wake up and I've rolled the doors up and I've got ventilation going, but I woke up late. The sun's already up. We're baking. We are fucking sweating my balls off. And yeah, hold on. What are we saying here? Where are we? Friday into Saturday. Woke very late, very hot inside the tent. 9:30. Walk Tina and put the EcoFlow or plug the EcoFlow in, and put the solar out. Put the solar panel out. Roll the doors up. Yeah, front and back. Like I just said, about making a through draft, trying to get it cool in here. And of course, now my friend Karen has brought me the fan. We didn't have, I had two fans previously, but we threw them away during the moving process. She brought me this, looks brand new. I mean, it really does. But I didn't have that then. She brought that later. This morning, this is the morning that Tom came along and brought his friend Carmen, and we sat outside, and Tom was going home within a day or two. So it's one of his last visits. He came and we just had a chat in the sun, and very nice. Thank you, Tom, and thank you for everything that you've done over the last few months. He's been out here in Torrevieja most of the winter, but it gets too hot in summer, so he goes home. See him later in the year. But thank you, Tom. He brings me food. We always sit and almost always sit with a can of beer and sit out in the sun and have a chat. So thank you for that. Thank you for all your support and all your help. And cash on occasion. I think this day, I think I'm about to say, was it this day or was it another one? He gave me, I think it was this day, he gave me 20 euros. That ain't cheap, as we say around here. 20 euros and above gets you that ain't cheap. So thank you. Where am I now? Saturday. Okay, I did another hour of bringing things in, and this is like I said about bringing in the chest of drawers and some of the other heavy stuff. This is me with my bad back, folks. I've had a bad back the previous day, had some painkillers. Tina, shush. You're okay, babe? I don't think there's anyone there. I think you're okay. Tina's okay. Maybe an animal. I don't know. Maybe a bird. It's okay, darling. Quiet. You don't need to eat anybody just yet. Where am I, folks? Where am I? So yeah, I've had the bad back the day before, and now I'm out here first thing the next day, bringing in fucking a chest of drawers, all the other heavy stuff that I haven't brought in the night before. Yeah, sometimes you just got to get on with stuff, haven't you? You just got to get on with it. But this is where Karen family inbound, and I get like the phone call or the text message. We're going to Mercadona. What do you need? Need? There's a question. Where do you draw the line between need and want? So yeah, beer, wine, cola. I've got rice. I've got tomatoes. I've got onions. I've got potatoes. I've got. I said this in the TrampCast hangout the other night. I've got lots. It doesn't always add up to a meal, and it can be difficult trying to piece together a proper full-on meal to sit down and eat. So I mentioned a few things, some eggs and some bits and pieces. Yeah. But no, it mainly ended up as a beer delivery. Because the shops were, let's think, what week is this? I think the shops were going to be closed on the Sunday and the Monday. You had a bank holiday. You'd got Easter. Was it not Easter? It was just after Easter. I think it might have been the weekend where you had St. George, the Spanish equivalent of St. George's Day, maybe. I'm not. Again, folks, I'm doing this a couple of weeks out of step. If we were talking about this week, I would know what I was talking about. I'm talking about 2 or 3 weeks ago. It's a little tricky trying to piece everything together this late on, which is why we're going to catch up this week. We are going to catch up this week. We're going to do another TrampCast in the next day or two, another proper TrampCast. We might do a TrampCast hangout tonight if anybody's interested, but we're going to do a proper TrampCast either tomorrow or the day after, maybe another one later in the week, and hopefully we can get fully caught up and not have this hanging over where I'm talking about events from weeks ago. Maybe. Who knows? Anyway, so yeah, this was my friends bringing me basically a beer delivery. Um, they also, though, so I'd been talking about how I got the wood from the fly tipper, and I was going to use it to raise the bed off the ground. But they beat me to this. Karen and family, they got a proper, like a bed frame minus the legs. They brought the metal frame, so you got 2 or 3 inches of metal. Get that, and then the mattresses. So any water on the floor won't be anywhere near the mattresses anymore. There was a single bed frame, and then like a half, like a child's bed. So I put them side by side. We put them side by side. So we've got one and a half. Put the double mattress on top, and me and Tina, my doggy darling, we sleep together. Not like that. It's not doggy style. It's just a doggy. Don't be. You're telling your own jokes now, folks. You're telling your own jokes. But me and my doggy darling on the bed, and now we've got this. It's wooden lats on a metal frame, so we are 3 or 4 inches off the ground, and then two double mattresses, one on top of the other. So we're, even if this is 6, 7, 8 months, a year, whenever this tent finally falls apart like the last one did. See, I'm doing this, we're only 2 weeks in, and I'm already talking about when it falls apart. But when it does, this is prepping. This has been a prepper. This is preparation. This is planning ahead. When the walls and the roof finally go and the rain comes in again, we will be off the ground. We won't be soaking up and sponging up water like we were previously. So my friends, this was Karen and family with the beer delivery, but also they'd found these 2 bed frames on the way, and they brought them round. This is the thing about Spain, folks. The way that the bins are communal in the street, and people throw things away or put them out for other people to use. If no one wants it, the binmen take it away at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning when the binmen do their rounds. But in the meantime, you see something you want, grab it. If it's of use to you, it's, what do you call it? It's not recycling. It's not upscaling. There's a word for it, isn't there? There's a word for how these things get circulated back around. If you've got a use for it, grab it and use it. That's the thing. So yeah, this is Saturday when my friends bring me the bed frame and we do all of this. And we know that there's a bank holiday coming just ahead. So last note here for the day was walked her ladyship, walked Tina, and yeah, after they left, walked her. Saturday night, folks. Saturday night. BigClive.com over on Twitch, and straight afterwards, Scruff Dog. So these are my heroes. These are the people I watch. A lot of the guys that are here now in chat, I've met via Big Clive and Scruff Dog. Technical family, we call ourselves, or they do. I'm like I said, I'm the least technical of them. But I'm hanging on the fringes. But so Saturday night, that's us. Clive starts 10 o'clock my time, 9 o'clock his, but 10 o'clock my time until about 11:30, and then Scruff Dogs 2, 3, 4 hours, however the mood takes him into the night, and that is my Saturday night into Sunday morning. Now my Sundays are pretty much of a muchness. Wake up, walk the dog, EcoFlow and solar power, because that's a regular part of my life. Make a coffee, because that's a regular part of my life. And then I've got a few hours to watch videos, and then I have to start prepping, because these notes don't fucking write themselves. You know? I've got a week's worth of notes tippy-tappy from on the phone, but somebody has to take some dead cuttlefish some dead cuttlefish and put it on paper. And it takes me a few hours, usually an hour and a half or so, but sometimes up to 3 hours. And the YouTube app gets in the way when I'm trying to prepare the notes and email's not the right word. Tweet when I'm tweeting out that we're about to go live. The apps get in the way. The YouTube app has been terrible recently. As if you saw the beginning of the stream, I had a rant for about 10-15 minutes, as I did at the last maybe 2 or 3 live streams, ranting about how bad the YouTube app is on Android. And it is. It's bad, folks. It's bad. But the week in question, I was preparing the notes that day for TrampCast 64, I think. I was. That's what my notes say. Sorting, cleaning, organising, and prepping for TrampCast 64 for the notes, and creating the thumbnail and creating the stream, which is a trauma every time. And once you've made the thumbnail, the fucking software doesn't even use it. I've uploaded the thumbnail today 6 times. I've got it on video that I've uploaded it at least 3 when I did a video of it. And probably now it hasn't used it. You tell me, what thumbnail did you see? Do you got like a grey background with a circle with my face in the middle? Or do you get the full thing that says TrampCast, the successes, the failures, the happenings in my life? Which thumbnail did you have? We are finished, folks. That was the week that was. That was that. I will now, if you're still here and if you want, I will peruse the chat and see. There's a lot, but I'll go back to the beginning and work forward. See, we got this again. I'm in bright red again on the chat. My name is bright red. Terry didn't see the thumbnail. He came straight in on a notification as I went live. Groundwork with the mice. Yeah, mice are bastards, said Chippy. Rats are easier to get rid of. Maybe, I don't know. They don't come in as easily. They don't tunnel in the way that the mice do. And mice are so quick. Rats I can kick. I can catch them with my foot. I can do them some physical damage. Chippy was leaving but was coming back. Oh, good music. Ivan. Okay, Ivan. Thank you. Thank you. Not on an iPhone. No, it was a Samsung. Chippy lost his calendar. Midges in the south and gnats. Okay. Moses and Moses. Proof of evolution. Okay. That was the song about different names for genitalia. Okay. To the tune of We Didn't Start the Fire. Which I got wrong the other day, didn't I? I said John Farnham and it was Billy Joel. Sorry, yeah, it was. Although the John Farnham song as well, You're the Voice, try and understand it. Whoa, 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 whoa. I won't sing because I can't sing. Jack Attack can derail anything. Yeah, I don't know if, has Jack Attack been here yet? I don't think I've seen him today. Thomas asked, was there ever prohibition in the UK? The Puritans, yeah, not in, like Chippy said. Oliver Cromwell and Richard? They were very puritanical, weren't they? Yeah. Thomas thought he'd missed the show, but not. Karen seems like a great friend. She's fantastic. And the whole family. Hi, Christine, if you're there. Could be okay, though. We went off talking about the card, yeah. Okay, I think I was talking about Big Clive pronouncing Torrevieja wrong. Torrevieja. Yeah, okay. I don't know how much more of this. Is anybody there? Is anybody there now? There's 9 of you viewing. Hit the thumbs up for if you haven't already. You might like to hit the thumbs up. Consider it. Do a tramp a favour. I am a tramp. I am a homeless guy living in a field in the middle of Spain where I don't speak Spanish. I understand a little bit. I can't hear it though. I can read it better than I can hear it. And I can hear it better than I can speak it. It's all very complicated. But there is just me and this little lady here. Let me see if I can... At the beginning of TrampCast, it was 1 click to switch cameras. Now it's 2. Someone explain that shit to me. Here's my little lady. Hey, babe. Hello. Say hello to the peoples. All these nice peoples. They want to say hello to Tina. She's the real star of the show. Hey, babe. Hey, babe. Take your walkies in a minute. Once we're finished here. What did I do with the power cable? There's the other thing, folks. Yeah. I am a tramp in a field, but I do have power. But only because... Hold on. 2 clicks again. Look, I don't know when this changed. Only because... can you see that? There's an EcoFlow back there. You see the word EcoFlow? Everybody, you know that Spain had the big power cut last week. Get yourselves an EcoFlow, a Jackery, or a Bluetti, or an Anchor, or an All Power. Just buy one of these. They call them power banks. Get yourself a power bank because shit happens. And it happens often without warning. Sometimes you'll get told, hey, there's a big storm coming, and hey, things could go sideways this weekend. Sometimes they'll tell you that much, but not always. And here I am. Look, I'm a tramp in a field. But I've got a fan. I've got a television down there in the bubble wrap. I've got a slow cooker. Well, it's here. The silver thing there. It's covered. Look, everything gets covered in stuff. But there's a slow cooker down there. Yeah, power, solar panel, fridge, cool box. I've got a cool box, electric cool box outside. I'm a tramp. I entered this field with nothing, virtually nothing. Is that one of you guys? It might have been. Oh no, that was just a warning about something. That was a warning about how many gigabytes I've used this month, which is nothing compared to how many I've got. And I've only got a week to use the rest, and then they'll start expiring. But folks, yeah. Power and EcoFlows and things. Chippy's got a bad back from... Whoa! What are you? Are you a moth? I think you're a moth. You're either a moth or a fucking bat. What the hell? You're huge. Get out. I think it's a moth, but it's big. And it hit the EcoFlow. It landed, and did you hear the clunk? It's here still. It hasn't gone. I thought it was a bat at first. It was so big. Fuck. Sorry, I was saying about Chippy. Oh, tried to pick the gas. I was working with some guys once, and the big gas cylinder, the long, tall one, was sliding off the back of the wagon, and I, foolish, impetuous youth, I went to try and catch it. Yeah, don't do that, folks. If someone drops a gas bottle, just fucking let it bounce and run. Step back. Don't. I did my usual. I stepped in towards, and everybody told me what an idiot I was after. That was youthful impetuousness. Look at the size of you. Jesus Christ. Let me, just for shits and giggles, let's see whether we can... Can I put the light? If I put the light on, it'll probably fly towards the light. Can you see it? the fucking size of the thing. Is there two? Are there two? There might be two in here. Oh God! It yeah, it's bigger than my hand. It's huge. That's you get this with having the bedroom now, and then I've got a string of fairy lights in the bedroom. But sometimes you get the moth inside the tent, but outside the bedroom, and all night it'll just be flickering, trying to get to the lights. It's sometimes I'll just have to do the spray thing and put it out of its. I'll take the lamp sometimes and try and bring it towards the door and throw it out. I try to be kind. I don't want to be death and destruction all the time to everything. Only mice and rats, really. But occasionally the insects, they'll just keep going all night. You got to get rid of them at some point. Not technically says, but knows drug doses. Okay. These are all comments from ages ago. Topical with ibuprofen, ibuprofen gel. Okay, a topical, something that you apply on the outside. I don't have access to medicine men. I don't have access to doctors and people who can prescribe. Down but not out. I remember that part of the conversation. Victorian word, yeah, tramp is a Victorian word that means to tramp is to move from place to place, to look for work, yeah. I remember all of that. Now there's a comment out of I've got no context. Is that a picnic basket? Don't know what Bungle. Okay, Bungle and Jeffrey and George. Okay, yeah. The rainbow the unbroadcast ones, the spoof ones, and it's them. It's all of them, but where they get all rude and sweary. Those are fantastic. Yeah. Don't grow up. It's a trap," said Thomas. You're quite right. Should have told me 40 years ago," said Chippy. Yeah. Oh, shrapnel. We were talking about the bag of money. Yeah. Shrapnel, loose metal. For anyone who's not British, we call loose change shrapnel, after the guy that invented the fragmentation grenade, wasn't it? Americans say to frag. That's a word for to kill with a grenade. Loose change, shrapnel, little bits of metal. Okay. Chipmunk had a friend that kept trying to give them money, kept trying to give him money for the entertainment value, and when they left, found 30 quid under a vase of flowers. I didn't say that earlier, sorry, mate. But yeah, okay. Come get me if you want revenge. Oh, the freezer bag conversation, I remember that. Yeah. Rob Words, yeah, okay. Oh, Farmer arrived. That's what arrived? That's when Farmer arrived. That's, you see, Chipmunk and Farmer are from the Big Clive and Scruff Dog, the technical family, as we say. Where am I? Okay, that was Stupid's birthday on the 24th. Yeah, that's the day that we were moving tent. Yeah. Oh, Rich, I didn't see you. RLRG, Rich, I didn't see you there, mate. Don't know if you're still here, but welcome. I was really late. I fell asleep this afternoon. It was all a bit of a mess. YouTube messed me about. It was all. Layers of fabric with an air gap in between for your tent would improve cooling. It would. It's just not easy to organise. Because putting a tarp over is going to sit on the fabric, so there's not going to be the air gap, unless I could find a way of pulling it taut, pulling it tight. Like I saw Scruff Dog do when he went camping. He's got more money and equipment than me. I haven't got the... for a start, I haven't got 4 poles, and if I had, I couldn't hammer them into the fucking ground here. I'm on a cliff top, it's rock. There's no... 50% of all tent pegs you put in the ground are going to bend before you get them in. So trying to put a pole in so that you could then string a tarp out taut, that's not gonna go easily. Cheap bitter. Oh, this was my dark brown urine, wasn't it? The cheap. That's where you're going with the cider and the dark brown bitter. It's fun going back through the comments in my own TrampCast. I said this before. I watch these back and I enjoy them all. I really do enjoy them. It was War with the Mice. Yeah, I was saying about how I didn't like killing them, and it's difficult, but yeah. Oh, Chippy killed a squirrel. It jumped under his wheel. Yeah, it's unfortunate when you get an animal by accident. I said about the bird and I lifted a mouse trap up off the ground, and a bird flew down, pecked and got himself caught. I should have disarmed it. It was my fault. I'm not denying that, but I'm inexperienced. I'm not a bird trapper. I didn't know that you could catch a bird with a mouse trap. I genuinely didn't know, and I felt bad. Here was the dilemma, folks. Should I have eaten it? Once it's dead, it's dead. I wasn't like killing it deliberately to eat, but once the sacrifice is made, once the animal's dead, it seemed kind of bad to just throw it in the bin. So I was wondering if I should have eaten it. I know nothing about plucking blackbirds. I've read in the past that the only part of them that's any use is like the breast, the breast meat. But I could imagine gutting it and taking the head off and plucking the feathers and roasting it like a small chicken. I don't know. Given that it was dead, it just felt even more of a waste to just throw it in the bin. So I don't know. I don't know. Where are we here? The conversation was about bleach. I don't remember why. The ick factor is a human thing. Oh, was it the chopping board after the mouse poo? Maybe, yeah. That could be. Oh, the red light that was outside, yeah. Was it a UFO? It was just the back of a car, but it was where a car shouldn't be. Is that really is that as up to date? Nobody's talked to me since Pharma said, "Did you self-medicate?" That must have been more recent. Oh no, that wasn't. I thought I was clicking to get rid of chat. I almost ended the stream by accident. We'll be doing that shortly. But oh, you see now, look, there's lots here that this wasn't just here. This fuck. Oh, I gotta go way back, folks. Where are we? Hold on. Oh God, this is gonna take a while. Have you got another hour, folks? I was gonna do a TrampCast hangout later. We're already on 10 o'clock my time, and I've got to go right back. Oh, did you okay, I've found myself. Did you self-medicate? That was the last message present before. While getting the 2-bar propane torch and cylinder back in, I found an ant nest been infecting our kitchen, so now it's glowing lava. You got sometimes I haven't even finished my first can of beer yet, have I? 3 hours and I'm 2:54, and I'm still on my first can. Have I turned gay? Can I not drink like a real man? It's a joke! I probably just lost 2 subscribers. Chippy forgot how powerful the torch was. He's reduced the antness to a glowing heap. Okay, lifting and bending and grunting. Was that Chippy or me? I don't know. Is borax good for ants? Chippy was asking. Borax, isn't that used? That's what Clive uses to make things fireproof, yeah? When he does the woofle. No woofle inside the tent. We're not doing that. Good job Liz is not here, otherwise she'd have me trying to do trying to do a burning flame within the tent. That's not misplaced money in the I've done that before now, losing money. When you put something so secure that you yourself forget where you put it, then you find it like 6 months later in that one pair of trousers, or in that suit pocket that you never use, in the hidden pocket in the suit that you never wear, and there's like 300 quid. Done it. Yeah, no. Not going to do it again. I don't have the money to do it, really, but my God, Mike, we're kindred. Okay. Will I use this? No, it goes. That's the idea. If you need to get rid of stuff someone gave you but you've never used, say sorry and throw it away. I used to have the idea of like taking a photo of things before throwing them away, so that you can still like look back in future years. You've still got like a fond. It's a way of getting around hoarding. You know, some old folk, wife's granddad wouldn't throw all washing machines away. He ended up with like 3 of them in the shed, because one day someone will fix that. You know, it's you got to bypass that by saying goodbye, saying thank you. Take a picture so you can look back at the picture of the item, but you don't have to have the item. I guess it's a mental or emotional way of trying to cope. Oh, Gordon Ramsay's a really nice guy. He just plays an asshole on TV. Maybe. Cooking video and deadpan delivery. Yeah. Future Canoe's brilliant for it. And there's another one that Japan Eats. He's very similar. For a while, I thought they were the same bloke, but there's a guy in Japan, and he found this underground, like an Arndale centre, and there was like 80 different restaurants in this one place, and he set it as his task to visit them all, and to not be fussy. He would just walk in and say, "Give me what you want, whatever you want to give me," and then he'd review how they want. So that's Japan Eats, all one word. And he was so deadpan as well that I thought him and Future Canoe were the same bloke for a while. They're not. And Future Canoe's got a lot more dirty humour, shall we say. He's a bit like myself. Yeah. Only fans. Upcycle, that was the word I was struggling for, Farmer. Thank you. I'm only 2 hours late getting there, but yeah. Coffee time, Mike. You have a kettle. I do indeed have I have a pan. I have a pan of water and a lid that fits, but yeah. Lots of houses in the UK are off grid now. Yeah, it's a good idea. The grid's becoming more. Well, we talked the other day, didn't we, about spinning metal to keep, to keep grids going. Folks, if you didn't, there is a TrampCast hangout that was 6 or 7 hours long. It was TrampCast hangout number 9, I think, 009, from, it's one day this week, I think Friday night. Fantastic. I watched it the next day. I loved it. You will too. Go and watch, after we're done here, unless I do another, I might do a TrampCast hangout tonight. I've got no topic. I've got no idea what we will talk about. So I will be reliant on you. If you come to the TrampCast hangouts, they are a good laugh. I haven't got topics and I haven't got time. If we're going to do one tonight, I haven't got time to go off and read some tech news or some science news. So I'll be reliant on you to raise topics and issues. But we can give that a go if anybody wants. More thumbs up are always appreciated. My record while live, I think, is 23. So if you could help get us there, if you can get us past 23, that'd be fantastic. Yeah, this I can put to one side. I'm finished with this. These were the notes for today, and over the page, here are the notes for the next one. Already done. I just need to do the numbers round. It's a little bit sparse. It finishes a little bit abruptly in the middle of Saturday for some reason. But we'll work at it. We'll get there this week. We're gonna get that. We're gonna get caught up so that I'm no longer talking about shit from 3 weeks ago because I don't remember it. But oh, look at this. I am at the end of the end of the can. We're on 3 hours. We're at the end of a can. Maybe that's a signal, although there's all this chat still to go through. Whoa! I got something just land. Oh, it's another baby moth. Not a big one like Count Dracula that was here earlier. It's a small one. Still have mains power as a backup. Okay, yeah. Oh, Cheds, hello. Massive solar plus massive battery. Yeah, it's the way to go. We should all be as independent as possible. He says there's a charity case who can't actually, can't get by from 1 minute to the next without other people's help. But there I was when the power cut happened, and I had, a week's worth of water sat out, maybe a month's worth of water sat outside. I had power, and I didn't even know that the power had gone off for 2 or 3 hours, till I saw people holding their phone up trying to, you know what you do when you're dancing on one leg, spinning around and rubbing your right buttock with your left hand. When you're doing you roll your trouser leg up, all of that. When people are looking, trying to get a signal. Fragmentation shell, but close. Okay, was this was the grenade conversation with the yeah. Is it okay to use the pestle and mortar as on cordite? Yeah, you're going to be on a list. The next time you go through an airport, you're not going to make it all the way through, are you? Rich is still here. Hello. Dead animals for fridge. Yeah, okay. Lisa's a twisted fire starter. Well, she doesn't start the fire. She just gets other people to. But yeah, okay. Okay. Do I want it? Yes. Can I use it? Yes. Will it be of use one day? Maybe. But do I need it now? No. So it goes. Yeah, I think that's just folks. Okay. That's Chippy being on a list already on them. Yeah, it's yeah. You got to be careful with what you these flies and moths and stuff. I really should have closed the doors before now. Having this lantern on with the doors all wide open still is probably not my cleverest idea. Oh, I've closed that one. That one's closed, yeah? I've only got the one open. I didn't even know. It was supposed to thunder and lightning. That's not even a verb, is it? To thunder and lightning. That's not a verb. We were supposed to have a storm earlier, according to the weather forecast. Cordite is not a restricted thing. Probably not. It's just the smell that lingers after you've been shooting too long. What's the other stuff? The aluminium powder and aluminium and rust. Aluminium powder and iron oxide, isn't it? Ferrite. What's the word I'm looking for? That stuff's explosive. That will burn through things. I can't remember the name of it. Thermite. You see, I was almost kind of sort of halfway kind of there. But not. Yeah. All right, folks, listen. I'm gonna... Where are we? 10 past 10 my time. Is that right? Give me till 11 or half 11. I'll take an hour maybe. There's a couple of, calls of nature and stuff to do. If anybody can make it, we'll do a TrampCast hangout in something minutes if YouTube tells me I'm live, which means I've just been disconnected just as I'm talking of hanging up. Not explosive unless you're overheated and you got to put in a compressed. It'll burn hot and burn through things, but if it's what's the word I'm looking for? If it's enclosed, because I think the rust, the iron oxide, is self-oxidizing, isn't it? So it'll self-perpetuating. I guess is the word I'm looking for. Hard to ignite, maybe. I don't know. Anyway, folks, listen. Give me an hour and 20, thereabouts. I think we're going to aim for about half 11, and we'll. Oh, thermite isn't like that, is it not? Okay, it's possible I've got it wrong. I haven't played with that, but one day. I'll be on a list soon if I carry on. Okay, folks, let's call it quits there. I am going to pick up with you in an hour and 20 minutes or so if we can do it. Let me see. Where am I? I'm trying to... At the beginning of the stream, one press reversed the cameras. Now it takes two. So thank you, YouTube, for fucking things up midstream. There's my girl. Okay, folks, from Tina. And from me, Delta Mike. Out. Very awkward moment. Later, folks. Bye.